while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Sweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Greetings, everyone. Suns fan here with Cinderman. Long time no see, buddy. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm good. Why are we waiting?
Hi, Cinderman. How are you doing?
Hello.
This is the Beyond Epic League best of 3 series in the group stage between Vikin.gg and Team Secret. Secret has only played 1 match. They did win 2-0, but they have 3 points in that same group, which is Group A versus Vikin.gg, who is second in their group with 9 points. They have gone 3-1 total in terms of series played, Cinderin. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I feel like Viking is always one of these teams that's...
Sorry. Are you saying Viking or Vikin?
Let's just call them Viking because that's what you do, and it's easier.
Thank you. Thank you for making it easy.
We both
on
know
me.
I'm better at adapting. So if you're not going to dispute that, perfect.
No, I will not. Never again.
So basically, Viking for me is one of those teams that can always take games off of the top Western teams, but doesn't consistently win. So they're always like a dark horse, and you see that in a group like this, which is a pretty stacked group, honestly. They've managed to get victories against Bait, which is not too surprising, I guess. But OG, they 2-1, and then they 2-0'd Unique as well. So arguably the hardest match is to come now against Secret, and then obviously Nigma is also going to be a big challenge. Actually, never mind, they lost to Nigma 1-2. That one's already played. This is their last game.
Yeah,
as a matter of fact, in the group. So even a draw here gives them a great position. But even if they lose, they're still not in a bad spot regardless. They've already earned a very good position here.
Team Unique has already been eliminated in terms of standings, and Bait is not super far behind. It's basically top 4 out of the 6 of the group. Move on to the next stage. Not too surprising to see Grimstroke ban Viking. God, now I'm gonna get it all backwards.
Viking then.
Viking. I'm gonna whatever comes out of my mouth is what I mean to say. Okay, Viking. They played a lot of Grimstrokes in the last month in particular. I believe at about an 80% win rate. So not a huge surprise. And we're seeing all the zoo banned out. Nature's Prophet, Beastmaster. I guess Tree is in a zoo. He's a tree. They're trees in a zoo. Chen, Luna, from the moon.
Radiance banned.
Okay, that's less zoo-like. And the Vengeful Spirit. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and Vengeful, when Venge dies, she spawns an illusion, so that's also very zoo.
Yeah, that is. Technically contributes.
So the hero that stands out that's still in the pool there obviously is Lycan, which I don't know if Secret would overall first pick that hero, but they have one of the best players in the world on it, and it's really good right now on Matu, so they could definitely consider it.
Lone Druid, perhaps, as well?
Lone is also in, absolutely. I don't know if Viking are trying to fish for some sort of a trade where they get, say, Lycan for Lone, but I feel like if both are in the pool, you would happily take Lycan into Lone Druid. I don't think it's a bad matchup whatsoever. What else is there, though? I feel like we're missing something. There's Rubik for Yapzor, obviously. For Viking GG, they play a lot of Enchantress. That might be the most contested pick here, actually.
Yep.
Spanned.
So
they do
Ember,
decide that's scary.
Another hero that both teams... I mean, I should say both teams. Every team plays Ember right now. DK is also in consideration. I don't know about first 2, though. It doesn't feel like a first 2.
Ember, Coddle, or Lycan are probably my go-tos here.
So to avoid the Ember Coddle combo, do you have to take one of them here, you feel? Is that too strong of a combo to give away?
It has really high win rate and it is really powerful. But at the same time, I think a lot of its win rate is also because it's not being played in games against the, say, broken heroes because they're already banned out. So the win rate might be a bit inflated. I don't think Secret should feel bad about trading it for Lycan, for example. They're going to first pick Void Spirit, so they'll do something completely different. So now Viking can either go for the Coddle Ember, they can go for Lycan +1, they can do neither, obviously, and play something else. Something I will say is pretty integral. Yep.
I was going to say, this last time I saw this was Yapzor playing the 4 position, which feels like a hero that can play multiple roles. I don't know how often he's played in other lanes other than the 4 right now.
I think Secret have played it on 3 players. Zayac and Yapzor in their official games. So they've played... Or actually, maybe even Matu too. They've played it on 4 positions. I think Puppey is the only player that hasn't played this hero for Secret. I'm pretty convinced. There's Lycan. So Lycan getting one of the most dangerous heroes of the patch. Super strong pushing hero. Extremely powerful mid-gamer. Necrobook is cheap and nice to buy. He uses both Necrobook and Vlads and hits an insane timing in the mid game at like 15 to 20 minutes a lot of the time. And they get a lane secure in Bane to make sure Lycan has a good time. Most likely what they're aiming for here.
Okay. So we still have Ember in the mix, Cinderin. How's that matchup versus the likes of Bane, where you got some? I don't know how much Flame Guard actually takes into consideration with these picks. They obviously have the pure damage coming from Bane. They will go for the Coddle.
Yeah, Coddle Void Spirit is strong, just like Coddle Ember.
Really?
It's not as good, but Void Spirit, like, if you have any mobile hero that has low cooldowns, Coddle loves to play with you, right? Because you give, sure, you give him another jump because it's the ulti of Void Spirit, but you give him another pull with the Remnant. You give him low cooldown Resonant Pulse, especially powerful when he gets Ags as well, and you just keep ramping up those silences. Give him a second to simulate. Like, all three of his first spells have a cooldown of, is it 11, 11, 16? And Coddle just cuts 6 seconds off that for you. It's really powerful in fights, for sure.
Okay.
Ember is a category for itself, but this is one of the better ones that is not Ember. Do wonder why they picked it over Ember, though. That's a good question. Like, why they rate it higher as a overall first pick.
Well, maybe that gives... Oh, you mean instead of the Void Spirit, yeah.
Yes.
Well, Void Spirit, how many positions can Ember play? I guess we've seen them all three. It's not as often as an offlaner, but I've seen a couple games, I suppose. But Void Spirit is definitely more flex pick, right? Because you could literally have it go mid, even though it's your first pick, if you pick accordingly. I
guess part of the reason for Secret is that they consider Void Spirit a good 4, whereas maybe they think Ember doesn't do that well. There was a phase when people played a bit of 4 Ember, like a month ago or so, maybe a bit more, but it's kind of fallen out of favor. So maybe they just like Void Spirit for the extra added role, or
so
they have a bigger strategy that we have yet to see here.
What are the Lycan counters these days? Old school, you would say Axe. I don't know what else at this point.
Sven used to be a carry counter, but it's not good because Sven is bad and slow.
5 seconds.
Very bad.
Some heroes that can just stand their ground, stand and deliver. There's been times when Medusa did well, but I think, again, the tempo is too fast. Lycan gets Necrobook too early. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of part of the problem with this hero is that you can't just be like, oh, we'll just pick X and Y and we have good counters.
How's Pango
I feel like Lycan deals with most stuff. It's okay. The problem is Lycan's so fast that he can kind of outrun your ult. And his ult lasts longer. And the moment he gets on top of you, you're just so quick to die. He can even purge off the second spell, right?
Yeah.
I think. I'm pretty sure about that. Let me check.
Okay. Well, Abaddon's going to be banned out.
Yeah, he should be able to
Vikin
purge
still
that.
have one more. Haven't seen that interaction myself, but I assume so as well. Still 1 minute in reserve time for Viking. And still a lot of decent heroes in the pool that both teams pick. Rubik being, well, that's a support at this point. I guess you still need a support for Viking, and Secret, we're assuming this is 4-5, but of course there's the flexibility options with Void Spirit, so we'll see.
I don't think we assume Void Spirit is anything yet. I don't think that's decided. That's the point, is that they will get more information. I do think the core matchup of Lycan is pretty rough for Void Spirit, actually. You get overwhelmed super fast in fights. Void likes to like weave in and out and play the fights a bit on that mobility, but Lycan just runs you down basically, and you have no response. You can't, like, you can buy time basically, but you can't really fight. Even if he just pops ulti and sends all his summons on you, the fight gets really awkward very fast. For Void Spirit, it's hard to use your first spell because you can hit all the summons. You don't really get armor, or rather damage block from Resonant Pulse when it's against summons. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, if Void Spirit is forced out of the fight, that's already a minor victory, right? Or even a major victory sometimes. So I like that matchup for Lycan. And with that logic, maybe you put it support because the matchup's
Radiant's pick.
Well, Marana's picked up by Viking.
Interesting.
Most likely hard-hitting Marana. Tidehunter third pick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Great against Lycan and
100% the 3 for Zai?
Almost certainly. Secret have played this on Nisha once a long time ago, maybe even more than once, and you can play it 4 as well, so they have the options.
To go.
But I think the logic here is this is a hero that is good against Lycan in lane, and in the game, Anchor Smash is very, very good against these like massive summoned units heroes like the Lycan, for example. And you obviously have the Ravage, and then you're also getting Kraken Shell into Nightmare Arrow combo. So you have a frontliner that can actually deal with getting jumped. Whereas if you picked anything else, you might feel like you had to pick a save, because if not, then whoever gets Nightmare Arrowed or gripped just dies. But now you have a way of getting information.
Do you think there's still an option for them to go for that save? Because you're talking about jumping in with Ravage. That's like a one-time thing. It's not spammable, especially for the laning stage, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're picking Tide for Ravage. I think it's like an added benefit, but the primary reason they're picking him is for his second and third spell. Ravage is, so it's kind of like sometimes when we talk about Enigma, you know how we say the black hole is
10 seconds to go.
An added
the
benefit.
Threat of the black hole,
and sometimes the threat is as strong as the spell itself,
5
right?
seconds.
The thing about Tide is Ravage is a really long cooldown, and in the tempo of Dota right now, I think if you're picking Tide for Ravage, a lot of the time it's going to be a mistake, because whenever it's down, your hero is too weak, unless the Anchor Smash and Kraken Shell matchups are really good, in which case you're still very valuable. So here you can imagine, let's say there's a team fight, Secret Ravage, win or not, beside the point. Tide has Ravage on cooldown. Usually what other teams will do is they will be like, oh, there's no Ravage, let's go take Rosh or a tower. But because of his matchups here, he can actually still just frontline and survive. He's going to buy a Vlad's, Anchor Smash all of Lycan's units, get a lot of HP. He can even double Anchor Smash with Coddle. He gives them a natural frontline for Void Spirit to play behind, so he can move around a bit better. I really like it for that reason. But I do think Ravage is a luxury almost, as weird as it sounds. It's kind of... That's why he's picked so rarely, right? If you pick Tide for Ravage and it was that good, it would be picked a lot. But it's just not enough.
Lone Druid, of course, picked by Team Secret, which I'm personally surprised that it lasted that long.
Yeah.
I assume Matumba plays that, although I'm sure Nisha has as well in the past, but it feels like a Matumba hero for sure.
It's probably Matumba, yeah. And now they need to decide... They need to decide now what role the Void Spirit is. I think Clockwork has some merit in this game as a 4 or even a 3 for Zai. It's really good against Shaker and Bane. The Mirana matchup might seem bad because of Leap, but actually a lot of the time it goes the other way, where Clock is one of the few heroes that can reliably get on top of you and then knock you back with cogs. Basically like a 2.5 to 3 second stun. A lot of the time that's enough. The matchup against Lycan is pretty rough though, so maybe they don't like it for that reason. I'm just trying to think like what else would stand out with what Secret usually play. They're gonna ban Ursa, giving Tide a better game. Probably concerned Lycan could go mid, and then they can just put another carry against Tide. Obviously, also
they only have 3 seconds of reserve time, so this is essentially their time in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the Viking draft is a little bit more straightforward with what you're expecting. And the fact that Secret does not get final pick means that the Void Spirit, I mean, it's cool and all to have this flex pick, but obviously it's more impactful if you do have the final pick of the draft. Right?
Pick.
So now Viking can actually react. All right, Monkey King. Okay. So Nisha, I assume?
Yeah, and it has some good matchups. It's very good against Lycan. You get so much armor in the ring that it's one hero Lycan can't really man-fight, and the passive damage from the ult really messes with him. You have a good lane matchup into Lycan if you want to try to set that up.
10 seconds to go.
And as far as, again, it's nice to have a frontliner if you're playing Monkey King. If somebody else can really give you information, you get vision, then it's way easier to find the right angle from the trees to get into the fight and enter. You even have a bear to give you vision too. 10th pick quad. Wow.
Take your pick.
Queen of Pain. And it's the Arcana. Hell yeah. Get to see some whipping action today. If they're in melee range. Well, semi-melee range. In Monkey King range, let's say. Whatever the hell range that is. Definitely not melee.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a strong last pick, and it's Boom. He loves this hero. It's one of the things that Viking have had the absolute most success with, and his matchups in lane are pretty good. You either play against Monkey King, which is a good co-op matchup, or you play against Lone, which I think is a good co-op matchup right in the start. and then maybe can get a little tricky, but I still think Quap does fine. Or you're playing against Tide, which is the farming lane. So I reckon it's going to be Quap versus Monkey mid. And
You reckon?
10 seconds to go.
Although you could... It's an offlane Mirana Shaker, probably from Vikin. You could play safe lane Monkey King into this with Caudle and put the put the lone mid. They have options. It's hard to say. It depends what Secret are aiming to do the most. If their goal is to shut down Lycan, they try to get Tide into that lane, and then they want Monkey King, I think, to have the second easiest lane, would be my choice, just because the tempo and Lone Druid can lane against Quap for sure. Matu is very, very good at this hero. So
now, I know yapzor plays super greedy on pretty much every single hero, and we have Zai playing Tide Hunter this time around, who, I mean, not that he can't farm necessarily. It feels like by the end of this game, yapzor will have more farm than Zai. Is that a bold prediction, or is that generally how it goes?
I think that's unlikely.
Okay.
Also because Secret in the last month have adjusted a little bit, I would say, in terms of farm priority. yapzor takes less in a lot of games, and Puppey actually takes more. So
what?
But yapzor is still by nature, if you will, a rather greedy player, but it's not anymore the classic, yapzor just takes, like, out farms his offlane consistently. Like, that's not how they play it anymore.
Okay.
I think you'll see it in this game. But last time he played Void Spirit, his net worth was not very great. They still won the game. He made a big play, I think, and kind of pulled them back in the game.
Feels like he always makes a big play. So, going through the lineups themselves, disregarding the team. I mean, Viking, not to take anything away from him, but Secret right now is just looking incredible. Whose lineup do you like more? Just as compositions.
I think, honestly, it's pretty close. Like, there's some really good matchups in the Tide Hunter in this game, and I think the Monkeys game is also very good. But at the same time, Viking's lineup has tons of low cooldown fighting capability, with just easy to set up stun combos against a lineup with no save. That's always dangerous to play into. You can get caught at any point in time. So I feel like it's relatively even, which makes me favor Secret, right? You just have to, based on results.
Fair enough.
But Viking has beaten this team before. They've 2-0'd Secret. Before their ridiculous streak, Secret did get, I believe, knocked out of a tournament, actually, by Viking. Or they knocked them into lower bracket, and then, I don't remember. But they lost 2-0 to Viking. It was a knockout game. It was.
And we've cast a few Vikings games. We've definitely changed the way we pronounce their team names several times, as you've already seen in this cast alone. But yeah, they've been pretty impressive. I mean, obviously not as consistent as some of the tier 1 teams, but I feel like they're knocking on that door. And obviously a series like this can go a long way. All right, looks like the bounties will be split between each respective team. So Shad on the Lycan. It's going to be bot lane with the help of Celery's Bane. Going up against, looks like, is this actually, okay, Nisha Puppey in the bot lane. So where does yapzor go?
So they do Caudle Monkey. Oh, they're aggro tri-laning, actually.
Is he actually staying for this aggro try? Looks like it.
I think so. Okay. So this was an option I wasn't considering because I really thought they wanted to Tide against Lycan. But another way of dealing with Lycan is just playing, like, outnumbering him. If Viking are to bring a third hero down here, I don't think they're really favored in this lane because Lycan is very bad at tri-lanes. Oh my god, that's a good blinding light. Celery's actually gonna die.
Couple more right clicks and first blood goes the way of Nisha. I mean, that was really good execution with spells.
Whoever says crazy. Celery, I don't know. That's not really...
Well, if you put enough ranch on it, anything's delicious.
Yeah, I mean, ranch, right?
Let's just call him ranch the rest of the game. Is that what you really want?
Dude, celery is just not my food, man. That's
fair enough.
It's like one of my least favorite things to eat, I think. Yeah, and terrible.
Not as much as Brussels sprouts, though, apparently. Anywho, first blood goes the way of Secret. Looks like yapzor is going to stick around a little bit longer. So is there... I guess the adjustment is Aramis coming on the Earthshaker.
So they will play it 3v3. Yeah, I don't know. Now that Puppey skilled Blinding Light, this is a lot better for them, I think. It obviously gave them a first blood, which is high value. But you would love to have Illuminate here to keep pressure up and push in the wave so the enemy team can't pull and to ideally hit multiple heroes. Very nice CS there from Puppey, actually, getting the big creep. He'll be fine here with a blind. But yeah, I'm not sure if this is the adjustment that Vikin want to make, but it might be the one they have to make. Like, playing this lane 3v2 is rough, and Shaker won't put enough pressure on the Tide top, right? Zai is going to be so fine up here. I think this matchup against Mirana is mega easy as well.
Mostly just a farming lane, I assume, as looks like a courier's taken out. Matumbas, it looks like. So that is probably a wash of an offlane, and the mid lane, kind of what we talked about, Quap versus Lone Druid. How do you like that matchup?
Are we going to fight or what?
Like I said before, I think Quap does very well right in the start, but then after a little bit, Lone Druid probably pulls ahead. That would be my guess. And obviously, like, a play Lone Druid always has in mid that I think is a bit underrated. It's just his ability to just pull waves, right? Like, you can always send your bear between the towers, grab the wave, and pull it somewhere else, whether it's on your hills where you get better positioning, or like you did here, pull it next to a neutral camp. Somehow losing a creep here, it just ran past him. I don't know what's going on.
Technical difficulties.
But yeah, it might just be with the better understanding of Lone that this lane is a draw at this point, basically. At least close.
Yeah, so it looks like it's the try that we're going to be mostly watching right now. Nisha gonna have a little bit of harassment with the boundless strike onto the Bane, who has 3 stacks of Jingu right now. Puppey being really annoying with the blinding light. This hero has got to be one of the worst to play against. Not even including all the combos that you can come up with in terms of the dual lanes. They do miss an Aether Remnant though. Yapzor does, so not able to find any sort of kill. I mean, how much kill potential do we have on Viking's side? I mean, the Earthshaker can obviously get off a good block, but in terms of getting kills, do you see any possibility?
It's pretty unlikely.
Without a misstep?
It's pretty unlikely. And that's a problem because the constant harass that Secret poses here will eventually whittle them down. Like, Shaker doesn't harass much, but you can always do an Ether Remnant into Blinding Light or Ether Remnant into Monkey King Stun and harass people, whereas the enemy team kind of just has to sit back and try to pull. And you can see in the CS that Nisha's pulling a hard big time from this. He's 25-9 to the 14-5 of Lycan. So very big lane win coming out from Secret there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Caudle, by the way, going for a very unusual build. I don't know when the last time I've seen this happen, actually, in an official game. Puppey is 2 and blind. Basically, everyone lately on Caudle has been getting a lot more points in Illuminate and very little in Blinding Light. And at least sometimes you get a value Blinding Light point for laning, but then mostly you would max Chakra or then start going Illuminate. But he's actually going 0-2-1. It's pretty.
Is it
pretty
possible
unusual.
that this was a misclick? I'm looking at how it actually scales. It's not the greatest. I mean, the damage goes up slightly. Obviously, the cooldown and mana reductions are pretty standard. So it's essentially cast range and a little bit extra damage, and the duration it lasts 1 more second from 3 to 4.
He might want to have it for the purpose of countering Lycan. Don't know. Like, feeling like if he has more points in it
to get last hits.
Just for countering Lycan when he comes online, right? Like, having low cooldown Blinding Light against against Lycan's army is really good, obviously, but still very unusual. I'm curious to see if he gets another point or if this was just a
all in, baby. Why not? Oh, Yapzor. He does have an Aether Remnant in the bot lane. Looks like it will not connect, but Cellar's actually just stuck in this position, blinded into it, like you said, and down he goes. So 2 kills on the board thus far for Secret. As, like you said, Monkey King is farming the crap out of this game right now. Another Aether Remnant, this time into a Boundless Strike. Not enough to actually get a kill on Aramis, but damage has been done. He has very little HP. As Mirana in the top lane, taken out by Zai.
This is real bad.
Wow.
Yeah, they have to TP Bane up here. Okay, they brought Quap. But not only does he die on Mirana, but he dies with a full wave in tower plus a siege creep. So somebody has to take all this experience, and Bane TPs for that. And Quap rotates and uses Sonic Wave, which means now Matu is very safe in the mid lane for 2 minutes because there's no Sonic that can kill him. And they have way more pressure on the bot lane. And basically, Toby has to go down here, he feels like, on the Mirana. Let's start laning here. Secret off to a really good start. Like, look at the CS in the top lane too. Like how much Tide is winning by.
Yeah, 31-3 versus 17-2. Yeah, they're just I mean, mid lane is the closest. 36 and 7 on the Lone Druid versus 32 and 6 on Quap. Technically, Lone Druid is winning that in terms of the CS. So Secret has an advantage every single lane. Mid lane, in the meantime, we have the root into Aether Remnant. Kind of unfortunate timing, but of course you can't really control the roots. Well, some can't. Most can't, I should say. I know a couple. But not able to find a kill regardless. How do you die on... Oh, we're going to maybe see another death bottom. No, Toby will leap out. Surprised that Mirana dies against Tide. Explain that to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. He got caught off guard by level 6 on Tide. I know that much. He got hit by Ravage. Maybe he wasn't expecting Tide to level up at that exact timing and just was semi-low HP. That's my best guess. He just got ravaged and anchored to death. And Zai was playing very aggressive into him. And at some point, like, if you're Mirana and there's a Tide running at you and hitting you, you have to fight back, right? You can't just run away every single time and not get any control of the lane. So maybe they were both floating on, like, semi-low HP. And then Zai got the...
bottom lane. Aether Remnant, yapzor sets up another potential kill here. Toby, not really anything he can do. No leaps available.
Oh.
Boom actually came in, but the balance strike misses. Puppey getting very low, but will live with 5 HP. Now the pressure is upon Boom. Has 3 stacks of Jingu Mastery, but will sidestep the rest, and I think that'll break things up. So 4-1 advantage now for Secret, but another kill onto this Mirana. Her game feels just awful right now.
Yeah, it's not good. And it's a hero that likes to play with tempo, right? We've seen some core Miranas have huge impact, like team that really stands out with it. Oh, all right. That's a Sonic.
Nice. That was a Sonic wave. Looks like Earthshaker.
And that was a Ravage. Okay.
Another Ravage. Wow.
Guess we're
It's already
using
been
the
2
big
minutes.
spells right now. Nisha, nice dodge on the arrow. Might have to try to fight back here.
Nisha. Nice boundless strike. A little bit of healing, but there is the Nightmare. Celery with the right clicks, and Toby with the Starstorm. So finally, a very high value kill for Viking, it feels like.
Yeah, and for Toby, who needs it badly, right? Like his... I was going to say a team that we've seen had a lot of success with Mirana has been Team Liquid. They've played it both 3 and 2 as of late, and even 4. But usually when it really takes off, it's from a full-on snowball on Boxy having a great laning stage. This hero with a bad laning stage just feels very lackluster a lot of the time, so it's good if they manage to pull him back in the game a little bit here. You can see on his net worth
actually transitioned to the top lane, so they might be focusing on this bad boy. But there's pressure being applied by Shad and company in the mid lane, so Puppey's going to have to TP with that level 1 Illuminate. And it is a level 2 Blinding Light still, but of course hasn't really increased his levels that much since we last talked about it.
See immediately they bring the wall here.
They know the Ravage is down. Boom does not have Sonic Wave either, but Matumba is able to get the tier 1 tower all by himself, so defense is successful from Secret in the mid lane.
This is basically textbook defense, but
they're going for more. Zai or Shaker, good stun. Looks like Zai will likely go down. It's 2 Booms. Scream of Pain. I'm not sure if they actually want to continue the fight, but the root onto the Queen of Pain, into the Fear. Do they have enough to actually take him out is the question. yapzor doesn't have an Aether Remnant for a little bit. So Boom gets out, no problem. In fact, Celery able to sidestep the Aether Remnant as well.
Good stuff from both teams here. I really like the defense from Secret. When you're being pushed on the key tower and you have Tide, you almost always just want to bring Tide there as soon as possible. And Zai came in and defended. Vikin realized they couldn't brute force the tower, but then immediately identified that they could try to run him down in the jungle and get that kill. So it was a nice kill. They don't get the tower though.
Puppey. All right. Nicely done. Don't think he had enough damage anyway. Sonic Wave was not nearly enough to get that kill.
Oh, Toby's in trouble now.
Yeah, Toby might be in some trouble here. The Gush. Oh, Zai did have Ravage. Man, I was going to say, if he Ravaged there as well. Never seen this many Ravages at this stage of the game from a Tide Hunter, it feels like. That's good to see. Tier 1 tower looks to be the next potential choice here for Secret. But they have to worry about losing this mid lane, which is a very important tower.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
They're going to smoke from Viking. That was not spotted by the observer that Secret have down here. I think they smoked just outside of vision of both wards, so nicely done. And this could reward them big time mid lane. Oh no, that's...
For the sleep on the bear. They lose vision on Matumba. They're going to find him though, and there's the grip. That should be more than enough to get the kill. But the Fear comes in at the last moment, but the Earthshaker ult will be enough to finish off your lone druid, and now the tier 1 tower will likely follow suit. They did get the bottom one, did secret, so it'll be a trade of sorts. Yapzor looking for the deny, but have to astral step to
Very
safety.
good trade for Vikin. They get the highest value tower right now in the mid tier 1. They kill the enemy highest net worth hero, and all they had to use was an Echo Slam that doesn't have a dagger behind it yet anyway. So it's a very hard spell to use in this game, especially you're playing against a mobile hero in Void, a mobile hero in Monkey, Lone Druid who will generally not be in range with his own hero, but just the bear. So the spell is kind of, I would say, almost low value right now. So getting any good kill out of it is great.
Looks like
Puppey baiting
Puppey and Matumba. Yeah, looked like that was possibly the case, but not sure anything will come of it. Celery, of course, doesn't have Fiend's Grip. Another 60 seconds on cooldown. Fatus Ignis, or Ignis Fatus, is now available, Cinder, and the Will-O-Wisp, as some call it. Dota 2 officially does call it Will-O-Wisp, but Ignis Fatus sounds way better. Armis, I think feels like he's still baiting, but they don't really have anything to TP to if he runs into trouble. And Secret playing a little bit safe as a result. Puppey's just all alone now. So it's going to be more of a farming game for a little bit here as Lone Druid working on a Desolator for his bear. Been seeing a lot of minus armor. Mask of Madness into like Deso Assault for taking those towers and just shredding supports. What do you think of that build overall on Lone Druid?
Just as a general build or in this game?
Yeah. Well, either.
I think, again, it's about the tempo of the game. It feels like going for the old Radiance build feels a bit wasted in a lot of games because you want to hit this extreme timing around the early portion of the mid game. And Mask of Madness, Deso really fits the bill. It also ramps up your farming speed on the way, right? When you're buying Radiance, you have this like downtime where you're waiting for so long. But right now, Matsu can join any team fight and have really high impact because his bear is just strong right now for anything.
Right.
And yeah, getting strong single target damage on the bear, obviously amazing.
Moonlight Shadow
Grip.
into a grip. But we're going to have TP support. Zai is actually going to cancel this. This is going to be a freebie onto Puppey. And likely the tier 1 tower as well. So
Wait, he got cancelled by an ancient prowler shaman petrifying him.
oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I think he petrified him.
Oh,
like-
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was fortunate. He might have ended up being collateral there if he completed that TP. Puppey was absolutely dead when he would come in, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could have evolved into a big team fight. A secret.
Yeah, I'm looking at their ways of TPs for everybody else. Yapzor had it available. I mean, the problem is Nisha had very little mana. Actually couldn't even TP the mana that he had. So probably
Yeah, then that's not a tower you
fortunate
hold, I think.
circumstance.
More good stuff from Vikin though. Like they seem to have a very good understanding, and I feel like they've really grown as a team in this patch and the previous one, just because they were quick to identify what time in the game you need to be strong and what you need to do. They're very good at moving around and taking initiative, getting towers, playing as a team, bringing the right number of heroes to plays. And I think the next thing they're maybe looking at here is a potential Roshan. I think in order to get that for them, they need to get at least one key core kill first. And that's easier said than done when you have Fiend's Grip on cooldown.
Tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much been their go-to. When that is up, they've gotten super aggressive, and then everyone in between has been a bit more passive. But Toby on the Mirana is working towards an MKB, so no big surprise there. Going for that hard right click. Shad has level 2 Necro. I believe it's being delivered now, so still working on the level 3. And then Yule's now finished on Boom's Queen of Pain. So I guess the root is the main. I mean, Yule's is really good in general, but I'm just looking at dispels that are very useful. The root is maybe the biggest one for her.
Yeah,
Celery does. He's going to run into 2 people, by the way. Secret looks like they will, in all likelihood. Oh, okay. Not get a free kill.
It's not easy to hit that remnant, to be honest. It's a pretty difficult angle.
Now the TP supports are in, so.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what else you get the Yule for. I guess it's pretty good against Monkey King. You can purge off his stacks of Jingu. You have a way, like you said, of the Lone Druid route. If you're clutch, you can dodge Ravage. Which isn't even that hard, actually. As long as you're paying attention to it, you will dodge it. It's more about if he's in your vision range or not.
Well, Zai is closing in on a blink dagger. Just a few hundred more gold to
Ooh,
go.
they see
Bottom
Toby.
lane.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Toby and Celery together right now. Nisha is watching from above. Aramis is available on the back end, though. They're going to start with the Boundless Strike. Grip onto yapzor. There's the Echo Slam onto 2. Beautifully done, but the counter Ravage from Zai into the Monkey King ult. It looks like Aramis will find its way to the grave, along with the Bane Elemental. And now Toby, under that Moonlight Shadow, looks like he will live. So a lot of ultimates expended and 2 supports die. Make it 3 as top lane Puppey gets taken out by Boom. So 2 for 1 across the board.
That was a super good read from, I mean, really both teams. Vikin set that up as a trap. They're in a great position with the Bane. They got an instant grip out as they needed there to counterplay this fight. The Echo, obviously a bit underwhelming, but that's what you're going to get if it's just 2 heroes in the middle of nothing. That your Echo is not that dangerous. But just as much from Secret. Zaya just there at the right time. Very nicely set up. They were kind of expecting, I think, that Vikin were semi-baiting that, just because when they looked at the rest of the map, the heroes weren't there. Here we go. New story. It's time for Roche. There's no Ravage. Gonna arrow. Here's a scout. Oh, actually, never mind. There's
Pretty
no arrow.
quick Roche, it looks like. Necro 3 is now online. Toby's not really that close. I mean, yeah, he's not really that close to MKB, so a couple minutes away at least. I'm not sure what power spike they're looking for before they just get ultra aggressive. Obviously, they can just use this Aegis how they like. Aegis picked up by the Queen of Pain. They're going to smoke immediately, and they ping around Nisha, unless that's Nisha's ping, actually. He's going to jump in, and the Yules looks like they're going to go for yapzor, but actually the Fissure misses. Willing to stay with the Enchant Totem, though. Boom. Coming in as well. Lycan's going to pop the ult. The yapzor are completely out of Astral Steps, so that's going to be an easy cleanup.
They're gonna.
But they were definitely looking for more than that.
They're happy to cut that when you consider what they got out of it. They used Shapeshift. In the meantime, Secret are pushing all 3 lanes. They got, I believe they got the bottom tier 2 tower. They did. But
Zai,
now
though,
this
they
could
might get
make
Zai
it
now.
worthwhile. This is such a hard kill, though.
And now that Shad's ult has
Just like
completely run out, yeah, they're not going to go any further, it looks like. Too scared of the reinforcements.
I like
Zai
Puppey's
actually gets
trademark
rid of it.
move of blinding light into TP out. Seems to be what he's doing this
Zai
game.
is left to his own devices now. Arrow will
Nice
miss, but gives a little
dodge.
bit of vision. And Boom will just continue to chase him down. Zai does have a TP, but of
Oh
course...
my.
Oh, do they have vision? Boom. Oh, the fissure from the back end. And that's going to be a kill. Finally. It
That
takes
was
forever,
actually
though.
godlike movement from Zai. Good for Vikin to get that kill. That one would have stung a lot. He basically played this fog completely perfectly with what he did. He dodged the arrow in anticipation that it was coming. Then he went all the way to the left in the tree line to buy just enough time to blink. But his blink options were extremely limited because half the forest up here is cut. So he kind of only had one place to go, and they do fissure him out. So
We're going to have a
Good work from
TP here from Puppey and company. Looks like the Ignis Status will be used, and it will be used effectively to take out the Bane Elemental. 19 minutes, 52 seconds. Nisha going for this outpost. I'm not sure if he has
wrong
it by
side.
himself. It's close. And controlled by the Dire. Okay.
Yep.
The Northwest. So he gets it just in the nick of time.
Yapzor had a 50-50 there against Toby on the Remnant, and he threw it facing the wrong direction. Or he could have maybe got the Marana there too. But yeah, that's a big cooldown from Secret to only really kill a Bane. They do get the outpost, like you said, though, so that definitely is valuable. But it could prompt another aggressive play from Vikin now that they have all their stuff except Moonlight Shadow. Could
they
try
will
for
have
a play, and they're
MKB.
going to do that. Yep, they're going.
Coming very shortly. Toby just needs to get some mana in the item, and he'll be good to fight for now. But yeah, there is a smoke being used. Aramis, of course, showing off that Blink Dagger not too long ago. Does have the Echo Slam available as well. Couple couriers coming out. Is this being used to scout? Oh, never mind. Puppey's actually way down there. And that's exactly what Viking is going to try to do something about. See if they get the courier as well. Nope. They're just going to go.
Oh my god, the random blind. No.
That is unfortunate.
If he dodges the arrow now too.
Kobe. Arrow. Nicely played. So Puppey will inevitably die. Oh, the Ravage onto 3. Surprise attack from Zai. Celery Gets off the brain sap, healing himself decent amount, but here comes Nisha, deletes him from the game. Aramis gets off the Echo Slam. It's only onto the one hero, trying to stun as much as possible. As Nisha now turning his sights onto Toby. It's going to be pretty close. He's going to get that kill. Looks like it'll be a trade of sorts, though, as now Boom has come to play. Shadow Strike applied to Zai. Ooh, blink out just in time for Boom, and that looks like it's going to break things up. It's a 2-for-1. As Zai is just continuing to chase this Queen of Pain. But yeah, that'll be the end of it.
Oh,
Zai
I don't
with a
know if
huge
Celery should have
ravage
done that.
there.
Okay.
Well, he
he's
gets
fine.
off the
I thought he was
Nightmare
going to
and-
get caught by the bear.
Yeah, the bear is getting a lot stronger. It has the Hyperstone in addition to the Mask of
Are they
Madness
chasing this?
and the Desolator. A nice fear. Yapzor in the trees right now. Not sure if they know he's here. I don't think so. Does have
I think
2
it's
astral
time to
steps
get
available.
out.
Yeah, this was an awkward like 30,
Yeah.
40 seconds.
That from even from our perspective, where we can see both teams, that looked dodgy to start going for the bear that deep. And obviously, Vikin don't have the exact positioning information that we do, but they still felt confident that they would be able to reset there. Again, lots of good plays lots of good individual plays. I think Shaker played that fight beautifully. Yeah, he doesn't get the key kill that he was looking for, or actually, he did get Nisha, right? They did get Nisha in the end, and he stayed alive himself. The Ravage was great. Yeah, good Dota. But Secret, again, kind of getting the better end overall in terms of economy. There hasn't been a big team fight win for Vikin all game. It's kind of just
they ended up
breaking even.
using
This
the
was their
Aegis, by the way. Yeah, didn't really get much use out of it. BKB is now online for Boom, though. At 10-second with the Yule Scepter. Looks like he's going for Shiva's next. Toby's still working on... Wait, does he actually not have anything? He has to have something coming. He's had this MKB for a few minutes now.
It hasn't been that long. He got it
well.
right before the fight broke out, right? He had it for like 2.5 minutes, I think.
I'll
It's
say
alright.
3.5 minutes, Cinderin.
Okay.
Big difference.
He did die in the start of the previous fight, so he didn't get any net worth out of it. He was the first
true.
casualty.
Well, Yapzor has his Yules and is now working towards an Aghanim Scepter, which this game... I mean, now you have extra use of that Yules for Boom, the double silence. Now you have a BKB and the Yules to take off the silence from the Void Spirit. But of course, I really like that Ags, by the way, from Void Spirits. Feels pretty good. Yules
It's
into
very
Aether Remnant,
Guess what's happening?
and
to
looks like he's
Dyer's
just going to
bottom
steal
tower?
the rune and walk away.
Can't do nothing.
I think he was also hoping to force a BKB charge. But Boom kept his cool. Didn't feel in trouble. That was right.
Smoke is going to be broken by the Earthshaker, who blinks out to safety. Nicely played there. The Courier actually
Okay,
gives
hold on.
Aramis... I believe it brought a Staff of Wizardry, which actually showed where he was. Looks like he will be found, though. It did cost an Ignis Fatis, Cinderin. Not sure if that was worth, but either way. Oh, mid lane! Boom has to pop the BKB and blink away to safety. And we'll use that rune and Bottle to heal up as much as he can. That was super close. I'm actually not even sure if he needed the BKB there, but understandably used it. Zai nightmared up, which means Celery can just steal the bounty rune. And that means Viking actually takes 3 out of the 4 bounty runes here.
Dyer's top
So
tower's
nicely
getting
played from
beat
them.
down.
They are being chased a bit here. Celery, TP's out, and then face of danger,
Someone
and
took
Toby
out
should be
the
fine.
Radiant's courier.
Bonk his courier. Those already delivered the Ogre X and then flew back. Which he's choosing not even to equip, so you could argue that that's kind of just borderline animal cruelty to send it into risk of death to deliver a nonsensical item right now. But
Call PETA. Well, Shad right now has the Assault Cuirass on that Lycan.
Quiras,
Quirat, is it really? I can't say that.
I didn't know for years. I
Really?
learned that. I think I learned that this year actually, or Quiras.
Really?
I think it is
You still don't know.
Quiras. Okay.
All right, Cuirass. Got it.
Cuirass.
Thanks, Cinderin.
I don't know if
I'm
that
not saying
pronunciation is
there's no
incorrect.
way
though.
I'm saying that.
I saw
Puppey is going to
Cuirass.
get grip, trying to take the outpost. And there's TP support for Mirana coming in, and this is going to be an easy kill. 26-minute mark as well. So, Nisha actually gets stunned in the tree. Echo Slam is not in range to get the stun off. Nisha's going to have to pop his ult on the high ground, but they have the damage with Toby just jumping in. Ravage is a little bit too late. Sonic Wave to follow. It's a 2-for-0 in favor of Viking. Boom pops the BKB, focuses his sight on that bear, but the bear is really tanky. And it looks like everybody else wants to get it as Marana and Earthshaker die, despite the Monkey King dying very early for Secret. And they find a Bane on the back end as well.
I love the irony of what happened. Like, the bear is really tanky, and then it instantly kills the Necro Book and dies. That was perfect.
It was tanky until...
Oh, Shad actually got spotted. He doesn't have boots. He can die here. This is possible if they don't buy back.
Oh,
any root.
There's the root.
Matamba.
The 8th remnant is there. And yeah, this should be a kill question mark. Boom. Gets his Shadow Strike off, and now will yapzor go for this? Dead. Yeah, yapzor will die instead.
Okay.
Good
that
effort.
Looked really promising for Secret, to be honest.
Yeah. The Assault Kuros Syndrome. It made him so tanky. Kuros. Got it.
Quiras.
Syndrome. I'm telling you, I'm refusing to say it that way. I'm sorry.
That's understandable. I kind of can't believe it's said like that. I'm not going to accept it.
I feel like the heroes that say it in-game do not say it like that.
I don't think they do either.
Or else I would have noticed for sure. As this is going to be the second row, so Aegis and Cheese. We'll see if they can get better use out of it this time. Toby will actually be the one to take the Aegis, probably because he doesn't have BKB quite yet. And Queen of Pain, boom. We'll hold on to the Cheese. Still working on the... I mean, it's not that far away, about a plate mail worth of gold away from finishing Shiva's. What are your thoughts on his item builds? He has like 2 very defensive items.
Okay, so before I answer this, I have a more pressing matter.
Please.
I looked a bit more into it. There's a second pronunciation.
Yeah.
It's Quiras or it's Curas.
Curas?
Curas.
Yeah, that's close to what I was saying. Close enough.
How did you say it before?
Curas.
Oh, now you're just doubting what you said before. I don't think you've ever said that.
Curas? I've definitely been.
Curas.
I'm fine with Curas. Curas? Is that what you're saying?
Curas. Yeah, it should be Curas.
Yeah, that's I can deal with that one.
Okay, what were you asking about?
We could just call it AC. You could also say that.
That's very safe. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Then nobody has to say ass.
I was talking about Queen of Pain's build in terms of itemization. We'll be
Speaking of ass,
guard, so
yes.
I mean, look at that. I mean, that's what you pay for with the battle pass. That's what you come for.
Shiva's is definitely very good this game. Lone Druid, Monkey King, 2 high physical damage cores in the enemy team. Also, the attack speed slow is very useful against both Bear and Monkey, so yeah, just solid. I'm wondering what Boom goes after this, though. I think there's different routes he can take now. He can commit for the full utility with Hex, but I think he'd rather go for damage. He currently is hovering the Bloodthorn, which was going to be my other suggestion. Like, that's a bit of a more aggressive item. He's got a lot of defensive stuff, right? You have Shiva, BKB, and Duel.
Well, the problem is his courier did get killed with the plate mail on it.
Did you say courier or courier?
The donkey was carrying the plate mail.
Let's just call it AC.
No, we can call the donkey the ass, technically, right?
Yeah.
So that is acceptable. Either way, he will not be able to get that Shiva's guard for another few minutes, unfortunately for him. Basher now online for Matumba's bear. Is there anything else on top of it? Where is it? I actually can't find it anywhere. Where's his bear, Cinderin? There it is. Now, he did finish the AC, so that's a fully loaded bear. What are you expecting on him after this? Because it's 5 slotted right now with boots. Get rid of the Quelling Blade.
It doesn't feel like an
Does anybody go Ags on this game? In this hero still?
Yeah, they do. I just don't think it's that stage yet. You get the Abyssal, and then you go... You don't really feel like you need MKB, I think. I'm not really much of a Lone Druid player, so when it comes to like what you get in your 6th slot on this kind of hero, oh boy,
Ravage
that's a dead co-op.
2, and they are deleting the Queen of Pain, and the Bane is next, and they will just continue on. yapzor doesn't have Aether Remnant, but Did get off the Yules. Toby's forced to leap away, still with the
Really?
Aegis
You're gonna bite that
intact.
on
Why are you
Quap.
doing so good?
Yeah, now they're wishing that he had
Mid-towers.
not only his Shivas finished in his inventory, but perhaps the Aegis as well. It's completely stun locked, despite having such a defensive build. Zai jumps in again, but Toby's going to do a lot of damage. You got to be careful. Fissure, Toby actually stuck in a weird spot now. Has to pop his BKB in order to run past that Aether Remnant. Now matumbaman just going to bash him with the bear. That is the Aegis gone. Leap 1 is available. He gets taunted immediately thanks to the Aether Remnant again, and this could be the beginning of the end for game 1 of
Puppey
Viking
getting a pretty
Secret.
burial there with the
Radiant's mid-tower
Burial?
could use a hand.
burial.
Radiant's
Bu-
mid-tower's in trouble.
Looks like this is going to be minimum 2 racks. They cannot go for megas.
Are they gonna respect us in back out?
Wait,
Maybe they will.
will
They
they
used a
get
couple
two
big
racks?
ultis. No, they're still going bot. They're feeling it. Oh, nice play.
15 seconds on Queen of Pain. They assume that somebody has buyback, but not anymore. It's been long enough period as yapzor
Bane's
jumps
dead.
in. If they can get another kill, this will be big, even if it's on just a lowly support. Celery pops that Ghost Scepter and will die shortly after. The Zoo is alive. Echo Slam onto 2.
Instant
Nisha has to pop the
fear.
BKB, and Sonic Wave deletes him again. That's a 3x combo according to that Arcana. And with that, Secret will not be able to get that second rack and will attempt to fall back. And if all they lose is the Monkey King, this is an extreme win for
Look
Secret.
how tanky
Lotus Orb applied
Puppey
to
is. He
Puppey.
has Meg Vanguard. And
crap.
Medallion. Oh,
Vanguard? What in the God's name? Is he going for Crimson or something?
I guess he wants Crimson against Viking. Do they have anything here? Yules came
Oh,
up. Hold on.
Puppey.
He didn't use it.
Oh my goodness.
He had Yules ready
He
for a
lived.
full second on Boom. I think he didn't realize it was ready.
Maybe
That
he didn't
was
realize how tanky Puppey
Definitely a
was.
kill. Yeah, he's in disbelief. He just pressed attack and took his hand off the mouse and keyboard and was like, he's dead.
What is this build?
Puppey
Vanguard?
loves buying armor. I don't think there's any support player in Puppey in Dota. Like, really. He has these builds that he will go where he will go Medallion Mech or kind of popularized just buying Medallion in general. And during a time when it wasn't very common, he would love buying that on his supports. He even got the Craggy coat. Like, he's insanely tanky.
Wrote
on
an
follow
email to
games.
Ice Frog for that one to drop this game. It's like, this is my armor game.
Yeah.
Bro.
And it's funny because the matchup against Lycan is horrible for Caudle a lot of the time. Like, you just get run down by the summons and killed. But when you have 30 armor, maxed out Blinding Light, and a Vanguard, you're actually pretty tanky. He's not even building the Crimson, it looks like. He wants to go for Octarine Core.
Yeah, wait, is his courier's dead? Maybe Crimson's on the courier.
Is
I
he?
have to assume. Wait, he switched it up. Now it's going Greaves, despite having Tranquils already.
That's
so I
also
guess
good.
he's just gonna sell
That's
those.
also good for sure.
We'll see
He's
once
probably
his courier's
in
back.
anticipation of the Crop Orchid, possibly. Oh, this is a big fight coming up.
It's done.
Bot lane, Zai and company were attempting to take out the tower, but a nice stun here onto Nisha. They break the trees. Actually, that was his teammate. I believe Coddle may have gotten him killed. Puppey is going to end up paying the price. That's 2 for nothing in Secret. They do get the range racks and will attempt to fall back. Zai with the Ravage available. Not sure if he wants to use it. He will, and see if they can actually clean somebody up on top of this. Queen of Pain, again, just gets decimated with no HP at all. Coddle will be next, though. Buyback onto the Queen of Pain.
Oh, there's Abyssal coming for the bear. Uh-oh. But he has the Vanguard on his
coming
hero
in.
currently.
Anchor smash. Looks like they're going to clean up celery sticks. Very delicious treat indeed. Does not have the ranch, though, this time around. Buyback now onto Bane. I think with that, Secret probably will be okay with this. Okay, I assume that... Oh, the arrow does hit onto Zai, and that's a lot of damage coming from Toby. There's a counter
Abyssal.
initiation. Boom, with a huge ult onto 3 heroes. Into the fissure as well. Zai looks to be dead as the Echo Slam is being used to very little effect, but did get the kill, I suppose. Matumba being chased, or is it the other way around? The bear just beating the crap out of Earthshaker. Looks like Aramis will actually go down to yapzor, and it'll be another trade of sorts. This fight is continuing somehow. Matumbaman, this will be a big kill. They really need this. He keeps healing. Jesus H. yapzor, the lone survivor for now. Attempting to get out of dodge. Boom, gets Yules. yapzor with the
Nice
TP,
arrow.
but the arrow connects. And they not only defend the range racks, it did cost them a couple buybacks, Syndron, but I mean, you can't ask for much more at this stage of the game, it feels like.
I mean, when you consider how that fight started, it's kind of incredible that Secret even got a fight out of that. They lost their Monkey King and Caudle before the fight really began. I'm pretty sure you're right that Puppey
Dire's
probably
top
cut
tower
the tree of
is
Monkey with
filtered
Will-O-Wisp, I think? Or was he not in the tree
okay.
at the time?
I think I didn't get to see the beginning, so my assumption probably is that they somehow found Monkey King, stunned him, and then he was forced to use the ult.
Right,
But
but yeah,
I
I don't
didn't
know if he
get to see it
ultied while the
firsthand.
Monkey was in a tree. Right, okay. Well, anyway, he was stunned really long and they just took out Monkey. So Monkey just wasn't part of that at all. And then they still just make this amazing turnaround around the bottom high ground with the Ravage plus Void Spirit combo, and the bear is just proving to be incredibly powerful. Puppey?
Yeah, he just clipped him with that Shiva's guard, and that will likely spell the doom of Puppey. Although he's going to use his... Oh, they did it again! Nisha is stunned for 4 seconds into the Yules. Queen of Pain attempting to kill this Ignis Fatus. He will get it. He has a level 25 Fear now on the Scream of Pain. Nisha forced to use his ultimate, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Toby comes in with ridiculous right clicks. But the healing from Nisha is out of control. Are you serious? How did he even get... So biting off more than he can chew... And Nisha somehow lives through that engagement and gets a kill.
Oh, he got
Being
found
shown
now.
again. There's the fear. The Ravage to follow. Nisha extremely low. Needs to get those Jingus up. He will do so, but the Sonic Wave gets him very low. And there's the last right click from Shad. Taking that Monkey King to the grave finally. Armas jumps in with the Enchant Totem. Echo Slam to follow. Only onto the one. Astral Spirit. Does have 2, so yapzor is fine. Meanwhile, the siege creep in the bottom lane, along with the wave, is actually taking out the melee rack Cinderin. They have to use fortification. Boom. Looks like he'll be okay cleaning this up.
That was pretty crazy that Monkey King actually managed to survive all this. So obviously he has the butterfly, but doesn't really do much against the Mirana and nothing, or it does a good amount against Quap, so that's barely enough. I think without Paladin Sword, he's dead there. I'm pretty sure that made the difference. Getting all that extra lifesteal and of course the bonus heal once
Thanks,
the Jinkus came
Ice
out.
Frog.
Radiant's
Thank you.
just towers taking hits.
And you can't blame Viking for going for that kill. It really looks like Puppey just screwed it up, right? By putting him out of the trees with Ignis. They get an opening with they get the fear off on Quap, they get the Sonic out, and still they didn't have
Sorry,
enough.
how does the fear work against Monkey King when he's on a tree? Does he actually come off the tree?
I think he stays in the tree and is just feared. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Radiant's top
Well, we've seen a
towers
couple times
taking
Boom with that
hits.
Shiva is actually being used for vision.
Oh,
which
he
is
went in.
huge. Yeah, he does go in. Does have
Hex.
the BKB available. Will Hex Puppey, but there's the stun, and wow. Okay, he is dead.
Oof.
He has just died a horrible, horrible death. And that's
That
gonna
is
put them
a pretty
in a
big
horrendous
oof. That's
position.
2 minutes, and he just bought Hex, so he's actually dead for 2 minutes. The game could end off this.
Yeah.
If Secret
They're gonna
realized they
take the
could take Roche
Roshan.
and go straight down mid. Oh no.
For sure. They have the refresher shard on Roche now. This is a double Ravage, I assume. It could be double Ignis Fatus actually does not work that way, right? I don't think they stack.
The Dire took down Roche.
No, they
I
don't
will
stack on top of
carry
each other, but
the
you can use them
refresher
delayed,
shard.
obviously, yeah. Oh,
Right.
he found Shaker.
Picked up.
This is a
This
big
would be
start.
big kill. Arrow not able to connect. Nisha pops the ult. Toby does have the leap. Looks like he'll be fine here. Aramis. Blink available in 1 second, but he gets abyssal bladed by the bear. Nice fear. I don't think he'll be able to find him. Does have his buyback. It just came off. It just had enough gold for it.
This
I
push
believe.
is so
Does
fast
have
with the
Echo Slam as
bear.
well. Yeah, it
His
is
Moon Shard was
ridiculously
his last item. Just
Okay. Well,
what's the attack speed? It hits 3 times per second. 0.34
with Mask of Menace enabled? That is
without
absurd.
Mask of Madness enabled.
Without. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Ravage. There we go. Zai has 2. Will-O-Wisp is applied as well. Zai will likely ravage it on nothing. Oh, there's Bane.
0.27 on the bear. It hits 4 times a second with Mask of Madness.
LOL. Good god, dude.
Great game.
All right,
That was
well, Secret
honestly
takes
super
game
entertaining.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that
an
was
entertaining game. I think both teams played very well. In the end, Secret do. I feel like they mainly win this game off of some great individual plays where they're actually outnumbered in fights, but just one player has an exceptional read that they can make the turn and take this fight. And I think for Vikings, something that they ran into as a problem was Shaker's inability to have a big impact. You know, with Shaker, you're looking for those big echo slams, but the lineup's just not very good for Shaker, in my opinion. This is a hard Shaker game, so I don't blame him for struggling to find major impact. And then, as often happens with Bane, when it gets to the stage of the game, if you're not farmed,
should take it slow.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, life destroyed. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear When you want to get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
GG. And Secret. Secret won game 1. Synderen, my name is Sunsfan. Hello. What are you expecting? Are you expecting a Techie's pick? Are you expecting anything crazy? Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time.
So based on game 1, basically, like I said at the end of the game, both teams played well. I think both teams had good drafts and a good idea of what they needed to do in the game. Secret outplayed Viking mainly on, like I said, really good individual decisions in smaller scale fights, and in a couple of team fights that it looked like they have lost, just making the call to turn them around was pretty amazing to watch. Going into this game, I don't think either team needs to adjust that much. Don't really feel like it was a strategic loss for Viking. They need to keep picking something that they're comfortable with. That's their bread and butter, and then nail the plays just that little bit better. That's basically it. Like, I don't think it was a bad performance from them in the first game.
Well, the bans have changed. Well, one ban has changed thus far, and that is the Keeper of the Light. We'll see what gets left out. Basically, preventing Puppey from picking it so that he can't stun his own Monkey King repeatedly. Bat Rider is banned. That's a new one. That wasn't, I don't believe, picked or banned last game at all.
True.
So that's 2 differences now. So we still have a lot of the zoo characters that we're used to seeing. The Beastmaster, I guess Nature's Prophet is banned, and now Lycan as well. So those have not changed at all. So really looking at Chen, Tree, Venge, Grimstroke. Those are the main differences right now. Grimstroke being the main one I'm looking for from Viking Synderen.
You might ban Grim as Secret here and let Viking have Beastmaster, even though it's an amazing hero right now, just because you can double counterpick it with Mirana +1, or you can get Chen +1. Or you could even look at something like a Clinks later in the draft against Beastmaster as well for lane counters. I think it's either you specifically counter Beastmaster with minimum 1 hero first phase, or you ban it here. That would be my go-tos. I don't think you just give it away. Yeah, there you go. That's Grim. So I think Viking will take it regardless.
Dyer's pick.
Nope, they take the Chen instead. So it's the other way around. They prepare. Makes sense, I guess. Like both Puppey and Celery play Engine Chen. And if they expect this to be a contested pick in the draft and it's good against Beastmaster, then
Radiant's
you can absolutely grab that.
I think is there any way they take Beastmaster anyway despite that? No. At least not yet. Or Shaker.
But now
Weaver.
Viking could do it.
Very fast. That was an instant pick. These were super fast.
Yeah.
So
Chen Beastmaster is really strong, though. I feel like they would be hard pressed to pass up on this. Like it's these 2 heroes that Secret have aren't necessarily that good against Beastmaster either. It's like Weaver is pretty good, I would say. Like the Swarm is annoying. For his summons, like they just get whittled down that little bit extra over time, minus armor. But like you're not. You even have an attack speed aura for your team, right? So even the bugs won't be that big of a deal. Yeah, they don't care. They're gonna grab it.
I mean, it feels like Secret's baiting them into something. I just don't know what.
It feels like Puppey was probably, I don't know, why would he not expect a first pick Chen here, honestly? Like, now that you see it, like, if these teams are a bit prepared for this matchup, now that you see it play out, he must have thought this was coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he was specifically hoping, I can give Beast and take Chen, then you have to look at the opposite perspective as well. When you're playing against a team that loves Chen as much as this guy does, then, yeah. Well, we'll see what they do in second phase, if they have some sort of great solution to this. But for now, I'm liking Viking's opener.
Liking Viking. So what about the Weaver? What position are we expecting? Or is this another semi-flex pick? We've seen position 1 back in the day, more so than now. Position 3 is relatively common with the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, I mean,
4, same thing.
The thing is, when I see a hero like this picked by Secret, I had my idea previously of what they would do with a Weaver, and then recently they played at 5 on Puppey, and he got 3rd highest net worth in the game. So like, I don't even this hero as Viking right now. It's also part of the reason Secret rated so high and pick it like this, I would imagine, is that they play it, I think, on all 5 players. And I think they just see it as an incredibly high value support as well, just because its laning stage is pretty decent. It's not fantastic, but it's all right. It has scouting capabilities, and then obviously it builds arguably the best save in the whole game naturally. In any role, it can do it, except I would say position 1, it probably doesn't feel that good to buy an eggs unless you have like, I don't know, alchemist mid or something. And you're hitting
Oh,
it
baby.
finally.
Don't tease me like that. Cindy.
10 seconds to go.
Here's a little trivia for you. This is very easy. Weirdest hero
5 seconds.
back when jungle was a thing that
Mhm.
Puppey jungled with as a position 5.
Dyer's
Axe.
pick.
Wait, no, that's not
pick.
weird.
No, that's not that weird. Troll. I can give you a huge hint. if you'd like.
Let me think for a sec. I'm looking at the hero roster. Hero that Puppey jungled
Dyer's
in
pick.
Dota 2.
Yes, Dota 2.
Weirdest hero
casting
he
it.
jungled with.
We may have cast it together. I'm not sure.
I remember Kuro jungling Lifestealer as a support, but
Close, kind of.
Undying Tombstone?
No.
Legion Commander?
Would you like a huge hint?
Sure.
It is banned this
10
game.
seconds to go. 5
I
seconds.
know you can do this. I have faith
Wait, what?
in Cinderin right now. I'm surprised. I thought this was super
Just
easy.
Flat out jungle. He started jungle.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to just tell you. You've lost this terrible game of trivia, Cinderin.
Coddle?
Lycan.
That's
Position-
not weird.
As a position
Jungling Lycan
5.
is not weird.
Position
I-
5
I
is
was
not
specifically
weird.
like, it's not Lycan because that is such a classic jungle hero. So I'm gonna need to think outside the box. here.
Position 5. Come on, dude. How is that not
Well,
weird?
He didn't play it as 5 though.
No, he did.
He just jungled Lycan and got farmed and then became a core, right? Like he didn't
He
buy
was
all the
positioned-
wards.
First of all, I'm doing the trivia. You don't control what the correct answer is. Okay, that is the correct answer.
Okay, I quit this
Whether you
quiz. It
want to-
sucks. I want to join another game show.
All right, Troll Warlord has picked up a secret, and Viking take the position 5 Lycan. Not weird.
He was
Not
a
weird at
position
all.
5 player, but he played Lycan in the strategy, and I don't think it was a 5. Like, I think Jungle Lycan was just busted. It's been busted
It
in
was
different
busted.
phases.
It was busted for 2 weeks. He only played it for like 2 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah.
Radiant's pick.
And this was before Team
Oh.
Secret was a thing, in case you're wondering. So
Mhm.
Timbersaw picked up by Secret. Okay.
Very good against Beastmaster and Chen. It's a great lane matchup against Beast because the way Beastmaster wins lanes is by harassing with the boars and taking CS. But as soon as Timber is level 3, the reactive armor overpowers the boars. And against
10
Chen, similar
seconds to
logic.
go.
He has all these creeps that deal damage, but Timber's armor is too much to handle. Tons of
5
AoE
seconds.
damage to kill the creeps. And just overall feels like a really safe hero in the draft currently. Like, Vikin probably need to solve this hero right now. The classic Timbersaw counter is OD. It's not very good in this meta. Razor is banned.
Ooh.
Ursa was a possibility. Slark could have maybe been something too, but they're going to grab Invoker first. Likely to be played by just Boom in mid, so no Quap this time, unless this is some really weird carry Invoker thing.
Do you like revealing your mid this early?
10 seconds to go.
Can be a bit risky. Looking
I
at
mean,
the
you have
past
to.
month,
You have 2 picks in a row.
They have played
Radiant's
4
banned.
invokers in the past month. Let's see what position it was.
See,
not working.
Secret have the same idea here. They're banning the Ursa, so I would have liked to see the Ursa pick first, but picking a mid here is not bad. You have 2 picks in a row, so if you feel like you give less information for the enemy team to ban off, let's say you didn't want this Ursa, then picking Invoker keeps the carry pool very open,
10 seconds
and you might
to
have some
go.
sort of the pocket strategy with this push where you have Alacrity
5
plus Beastmaster
seconds.
Aura and then some ridiculous right-click hero. I'm trying to think about what carry they could get that could really bring this lineup together. Like maybe Juggernaut is a possibility. The Healing Ward and you just go Siege. Drow Ranger, if you want to get really creative, could be a thing here. Clinks,
You're talking about for Viking.
yes.
Okay.
I
They did
think
play mid invoker against
Jugger-
OG. They got beat, but
Mm-hmm.
apparently they drew the mid lane. If that tells you anything.
Maybe Juggernaut.
I mean, another reason to get invoker here is perhaps they needed a solar or spirit vessel carrier for the Timbersaw. Obviously very strong against that hero.
Yeah. Vessel is really good. I would also say it's very good against Troll. If you use it correctly, when he ulties and you pop it on him after,
Radiant's
it's
pit.
Yeah,
annoying
battle
steal
chance
with
dispels,
less than
right?
Brood. Yeah, so you have to use it after.
Ooh.
Worried
Okay,
about the
so
Brood.
no-
I can see that. I mean, Beastmaster isn't the counter he used to be because axes are magical damage instead of the old physical. So the spiders handle it better. I don't know. I
10
still see
seconds to
Jugger.
go.
Lone Druid, possibly. Siege with
5
Alacrity on the
seconds.
Bear. But I don't know if they like Lone's matchups here. He's playing
Dire
against
pit.
Timber and Troll. Bloodseeker.
Wow. Bloodseeker. So Rupture on both Weaver and Timbersaw, pretty good.
Also pretty good against Troll. Rupture is.
Yeah.
He's a very mobility-based
against
carry. Not in
everybody.
terms of blinking, but he just has to keep running after stuff to stay relevant in fights. I'm
10
not
seconds to
completely
go.
sold on how Vikin rounded this out. I really liked their opener, and I think the Rubik was fine
5
too.
seconds.
But these last two was not what I was looking for. I think Ursa Plus would have been great, or maybe a Juggernaut, just to come together with their lineup when they're strong. But maybe
So
their
with the
concern is
Juggernaut,
they
you're
can't.
looking for like a 5-man push or something like that.
Yeah, just somebody that uses Alacrity really well to hit towers, right? Like your strategy right now revolves around Chen and Beastmaster getting auras and wanting to go together and push. But then you pick your carry as a Bloodseeker who, in my opinion, doesn't really fit the bill here. Like, you have good hero matchups, but does it work in the macro scale of things like here? Is it going to win the game, or is it going to be good against enemy heroes? Especially given you're going into a counter pick now that Secret have. I think you might just play high tempo on Vikin. I'm not saying it's terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's just not as good as what I think they could have maybe managed last pick. Storm
Time to some of
into
these
Rubik.
folks.
So they have one instance done in Rubik, and then they have Cold Snap, but still a very good Storm Spirit game. And obviously, this is a combo Secret have played before. Puppey is 5 Weaver, Nisha is 2 Storm, Puppey gets Ags, and then he can time-lapse the Storm back and give him full mana after he has used all his mana in the fight. It's disgusting. It is actually so good.
That is
If they get to that
Of course,
stage.
you have to get the Ags. But I mean, he did farm really well last game. He had a freaking Vanguard. Basically,
Yep.
what else did he have? He had Mech as well. I believe he probably finished the Greaves by the end of the game as a position 5. Not too shabby.
All
Yaps
of
are obviously
Secret's
really
heroes
strong
with
at
blue
Earthshaker.
cosmetics, Shannon. All of them.
That's because anything Valve puts in the game, Cinderin, has some blue in it. That's always a style.
This specific
keeping
blue.
the theme. Yes.
What would you call this this color? Would you call it teal or
Ethereal
turquoise?
blue. Sorry, what?
Would you call it teal or turquoise?
Oh, it's so hard to tell the difference between teal and turquoise. I guess turquoise.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I'm not good at colors, I'm good at purple. A lot of people that are not colorblind can't see purple correctly still, Cinderella.
I see.
You think
So in the
Rubik's
top,
Cape is
in the
very
top
purple
left,
to me.
in the top left of the screen right
Yes.
now with the Beyond Epic,
Yes.
what color is the background of that? The fog.
Purple.
That's purple.
I'm seeing
Okay.
Well, the fog. Okay, you made it very specific as my screen went away.
Oh, you can have a look and see.
Okay. According to our obs, it is electric blue.
Is that an official color or something he just invented?
Yeah, it sounds like an invention to me. I mean, there are millions of colors, Cinderin, so there's
Yeah.
a name for everything, right?
Oh, now it's gone. Actually, now you can't see the logo I was talking about anymore.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm sorry, Cinderin. We'll never know, unfortunately. It was going to branch off into an amazing conversation, I'm sure.
Okay, Shannon. How do you tell purple apart from violet?
Fight me.
Purple is deeper.
So it's darker than violet.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably saying this horribly incorrect, but yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Violet
So
is a bit
so
lighter.
you would say Bloodseeker. Okay, I have another question for you here. This is getting really interesting.
This
As
is
we're
you
setting up
doing this and not
We're
me.
setting up
Wow.
lanes. Man, I also get to have some fun once in a while. It's not very often anymore these days. So if you look at the Bloodseeker and you see the text on his name, Shad, is this the same color as is over his icon in the top? Is that the exact same color?
It does look
30
lighter in
seconds
the
to
name.
showtime.
So one of them is violet and the other is purple.
It could be a trick of the eye. It could
It's
also
electric
be
blue.
calibration.
It was a trick question. It's electric blue. All of it. Everything is electric blue.
All right. Well, Puppey is
Yep.
going to be perusing the electric blue river in his electric blue set. We'll be going up the electric blue terrain here.
Okay, that's enough.
I don't know about your terrain. Everything's blue for me. So it
Electric
actually works
blue
out.
terrain. What?
The rocks are electric blue indeed. So you do like Secret's lineup more,
Gotta
regardless
Yes,
of teams.
I think so.
Good.
I do. I didn't in the first phase, but with how it turned out and got rounded out in the end, I really like the Dire lineup just because I see a very clear way of winning the game. If they do get past the early mid-game dangerous stage where Chen Beastmaster could really push, I just don't think the Radiant have solutions for Weaver, Ags plus Storm. I don't think they can handle it. The pressure is going to be way too much. And it's not like that Storm is even the only carry. There's Troll and Timber. So like 3 scaling cores, one of which is a tanky frontliner that you didn't really solve except with Rupture. What if he just stands still? Like, are they going to kill him? I don't know. I don't know
We'll
if you have
find
the
out.
damage.
We will definitely find out. Zai is going to be playing the off lane versus Celery's Chen and Shad's Bloodseeker. Yapzor is in the vicinity on the Earthshaker. Did start with his patented boots first. How often would you say these like Yapzor types start with boots first? Is it like super common, like literally every game, or is it kind of dependent on what hero you're playing?
When you say Yapzor types, do you mean him specifically?
Yes,
Or-
I mean, yes.
Okay.
I should say.
He starts with boots quite frequently with how they play, yeah. With like Shaker, I think he started with it on Void Spirit last game as well, right? I want to say.
Yes, he did. That is
yeah.
why I'm mentioning it.
I think the logic for them is that the way they play position 4 and the force that they pick, they're not really aiming so much to just man fight the enemy. It's way more about manipulating laning stage. So in the last game, when they aggro tri-lane, Yapzor's job was to just be a presence and deal with pulls. And in this game on Shaker, he is enabling his offlaner by fissuring, and then he's just gonna
Someone took
kill
out
this courier
Radiant's courier.
and probably
Wow.
prevent Chen from getting good creeps as well as to the best of his ability.
Yeah, that's
This is
quite
such
nice.
an easy lane for Timbersaw. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to do
that.
anything to him. So Shaker can just freely move now. I don't even think he needs to stay bottom area any longer.
Yeah,
Just fissuring
especially now
one
that
time,
Zai,
he's low
Zai
frame.
has 2 in reactive armor, so. But even without that, like I don't even see a kill potential between these 2 heroes unless Celery gets a bunch of levels and just gets a ton of creeps for, like, I don't know, 4 centaurs, whatever the case be. I don't even know if that's enough at this stage. But yeah, it's going to be a tough kill either way. They'll have to expend a lot of resources. Top lane, Aramis taking a lot of damage. Has the bugs applied? Toby is attempting to take him off. Did pop the Fairy Fire. Didn't really need it, looks like, but still, more resources expended. Matumbaman gets Fade bolted, but he's making the favorable trades as he does have plenty of tangos to work with. Aramis, oh, he's going to get Shukuchi Don. Has basically no regen, but does have 7 charges on his wand. Only 1 tango left on Toby, so they have to be very, very careful in this top lane.
Secret are playing mega aggressive in this lane.
Mid
They're
lane.
taking-
Oh, is that a fissure block? Oh, the creeps are blocking him. With the creeps, it was temporarily a fissure block, but alas, boom shall live.
Yeah, and this is what's so powerful about Timber in this game is that Yapzor can do this. Now he can just be off the map. Now both mid and top are scared because they don't know what Shaker is doing. They have no vision pre-placed in this side of the map. They only had it in the bottom half. So whatever Shaker is doing, it's just a gamble. And like from Secret's perspective, when they've played this top lane this aggressively and they're trying to shut down Beastmaster, when the regen is this low in the lane from that aggressive playstyle, it makes it so appealing for Shaker to come up here. I think we're going to see first blood in a second on this Rubik, probably. Very, very easy
Yeah.
kill.
There's the fissure, and the only question is who will take it. It's going to be Matumbaman. Toby does get the courier kill, apparently. Puppey's courier did die in that
All right.
exchange. But alas, if we look at the bottom lane, Zai, now a 1v1, the old-fashioned 1v1 here. Should be good to go. Once he hits 6, I'm sure he'll hit 6. Actually, they're very even on levels right now, which is a little bit surprising. But that Whirling Death
Oh,
does
Shad
take
needs to
a
not
lot of
overextend.
damage.
Okay, his 8 sticks too. It's fine.
I don't think there'll be a kill in the next 10 seconds, so we'll peruse the other lanes. I want to talk about Storm versus Invoker. As actually top lane, Aramis looks like he might find his way to the grave again. A beautiful block here from yapzor. Just sticking around the top lane, and it really pays off. Puppey, he does take a lot of damage from Toby, but Toby's not able to actually finish the job.
I like this.
And there is a salve available.
I like this focus on top from yapzor a lot because I find Beastmasters to just be insane this patch if he has a good start. And they've really put pressure on him. They placed a good lane against him. They played aggressively. And now that they freed up another hero, they play aggressively with him as well. Puppey's going to suicide to neutrals here to save some time. I believe yapzor's just going to stick around up here. I don't think there's any... There's no pressure on him to have to rotate mid because Storm is doing fine. There's no pressure on him to have to go bottom as we already established. So playing Shaker like this actually feels so good when...
He's going for this courier kill again. Invoker's courier is donezo. Nice little one shot there from the enchant totem. And mid lane, looks like Nisha's going to be caught off guard here. The Chen did attempt to gank, but Puppey has TP'd to support his comrade at arms. Celery should be able to get out just fine. Might lose a creep. Doesn't look like it, actually. So looking at the mid lane now, yapzor. Fissure forces Boom to run the opposite direction.
Sentry. He's dead.
Does have the Ghost Walk, but yeah, Sentry is more than enough. So looking at the mid lane, it's 30-9 in CS for the Storm versus 21-7 versus for the Invoker. So even without that kill, Nisha looked like he was winning this lane.
Yeah. I also have to keep in mind that yapzor did poke his head in. It does help. Not only did it pressure Invoker a bit
Cinder
earlier.
Man, matumbaman
okay.
is fine. Just wanted to let you know.
But yeah, when you pressure mid with Shaker like this, even if you don't kill the Invoker, you do some damage, you stop him from CSing, and you put the fear into his heart in the game, right? Like, he's going to start playing more defensively and maybe lose CS because Shaker is missing. So this is like natural development of the lane. I would say that Storm pulls ahead by a bit. It's very difficult to be Invoker here early on.
Oh, top lane. This looks to be an actual kill now. Nice block up again from yapzor. Chant Totem will not connect this time, but they have more than enough to take out that pesky Beastmaster. But it looks like yapzor will finally get traded. It has been a long time coming. And the last
Summon the Invoker.
It will actually go to the Rubik. Probably a little unfortunate though. Invoker could have really used that kill.
Yeah, he got recalled up there at least by Chen, so he didn't have to TP. Actually had it on cooldown, so he couldn't have. But yeah, he's gonna miss creeps in middle. For Invoker's own game, this is kind of a... I think that was a net loss, probably. He would have rather had 3 creeps mid than the kill on Shaker. But for his
bottom lane, Chad. It's gonna get down to Blood Right. That was an interesting rotation here from Matuma. What's he doing down here exactly with Zai? They're looking for the kill into a tower, I suppose. Oh, Shad. I see yapzor, but no fissure actually.
Toby's
Toby
top to Storm.
Top lane dead again. This time to Nisha's right click. Shad TPs. Gets the blood right, but not going to do anything with it. So yeah, matumbaman now in the bot lane, which means basically a free tower.
Ain't a pretty sight right now.
Troll Warlord is a very good tower pusher.
No breaking down the radiant structure.
And now that Chen and Bloodseeker have rotated top, they're going to try to make the same play. But I don't know if they're going to be successful in taking this tower. At any point now, Zai can just TP top and stand there and be a wall. Yeah. And they really struggle to kill him. Even if they do succeed, the tower is going to not fall. So, let's see. I imagine there he is. He's coming in. He's just going to run in. How much armor? 22 reactive armor. No way he does. They just...
This will be a difficult one for sure. They're going to get some damage, and the Blood Right as well. That is magic damage. Goes right through that physical armor, Cinderin. Looks like
no way he dies.
He might find his way to the grave. Cinderin incorrect again. The caster's curse for real, but here comes the support from Nisha and company. That is 2 dead in the blink of an eye for Viking. Boom looks to be next,
Okay,
so
Shannon,
despite losing their Timber Saw.
He died, but really?
But?
Was it good? It was not very good. It was very ungood.
Unkillable, and he died
so
literally 5 seconds later.
Let me correct myself. I said in the start, he's gonna come in, and he'll either not die, or his death will save the tower. And then I thought he was invincible. So you are correct. But
you literally said he was a wall. That is more like the Berlin Wall. Just falls very easily, Cinderin. Well, I guess it wasn't so easy at the time, but it's down now. Okay?
Yeah,
I mean, they killed
the timber. You're right. But it was really bad.
You're incorrect again. yapzor telekinesis. There's the cold snap keeping him in place. He's trying to get off one stun before he goes. It's not going to happen. The roar now onto Weaver. So that is a dead puppey. That is 2 for nothing. So
and should be a tower.
Quick cleanup. Exactly.
Zaya's moving. He'll be too late. And he's definitely not unkillable. So.
No, especially now that he doesn't have those ridiculous charges of.
Yeah, he had 22 armor when he TP'd in. I genuinely thought he was going to live because he had 22 armor.
It's the 10-minute mark, by the way. He's going to get ruptured. They're going to get the outpost as well. Tempting to TP out. It's going to be close. No, the tornado keeps him in place. And a nice little turnaround there. It will be an exchange of outposts, it looks like.
No, now they didn't get the tower. Actually. They rotated the whole team over to defend the outpost, or to claim it, rather. It's happening now. They're not scared. Rightfully so. Puppey finds a courier.
So much for the Radiant's courier.
Man, a lot of couriers dying in this game. My goodness.
A golden thread.
Looks like Matumbaman is going for the Yasha into what exactly? Do you actually go SNY still? Do you... I guess if you go for... It's too... Is it too late for Battle Fury after Yasha? Why, you wouldn't just go straight for Battle Fury in that case?
I think it's
ramp
okay.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
I think Battle Fury is probably what he's gonna do, because the game is in a good spot for them, and they know what how this game is gonna go, right? Based on overall strategy that they feel favored in a farming game. So I think going Battle Fury is completely fine. Maybe he gets the Yasha just to cover his bases a little bit in case they really ramp up the tempo. Puppey's dead top, by the way. Doing a pretty good job here, but Rupture just lost.
He is ruptured. Quite efficient. Shad looks like he just finished his Maelstrom. Will TP. I thought he was going back. Yeah, he is going back to base to pick that up. Toby TP's mid though. Does have the roar available to use. Has a Necro 1 right now. Urn is on boom. He's had that for a little bit now. About 600 away from finishing the Spirit Vessel. Bottom lane though, Viking.
Oh, he saw them.
Looping up, and matumbaman comes back for the creep. He's gonna get telekinesis into a Fade Bolt, but
he's baiting
into the roar. They don't really have anything to follow it up with. And here comes Puppey with that swarm. Gonna deal considerable amount of damage to Rubik before he falls back. Did force a bunch of TPs. Celery is here smoked. Actually, yeah, he is smoked. And we'll pop that juicy mechanism.
Saves his centaur creep with that. But now it's not there in case of a fight, but I don't think Secret are going to come to this at all. They're going to just back off. They forced all 5 heroes of Viking actually came bottom for that. That is not... That's no good. Their mid tower is getting pushed. Their top tower is getting pushed. They're just stranded down here, and I don't think there's any potential for them to take this tier 1 currently. So they're going to have to start spreading out again and just losing efficiency on the map every second from these Secret heroes just pushing waves non-stop. Man, Storm is so far ahead of Invoker. Jeez.
Yeah, looking at the net worth, 6,300 versus 3,900.
Radiant's top tower.
That is rough. And this was, in your mind, a questionable Invoker pick to begin with, right? And obviously makes matters worse when he's just not farmed at all. RMS is dead. Looks like the tier 1 tower will follow suit.
Especially when you combine it with the carry that they last picked, right?
Top towers in bad
there is a synergy with Tornado into Bloodright, but I thought their lineup really wanted an Alacrity tower hitter, like Lifestealer or Jugger, right?
One last top tower for the Radiant.
They did end up going Bloodseeker, valuing some of the hero matchups more than I would say the consistency of their own draft, basically. That's my 2 cents. What is this common on Invoker, by the way?
No boots.
He has Vessel before boots.
Yeah, it's weird.
Is that normal?
I mean, he's full in Wex, Cinderin. 322 move speed.
Wow, really nice.
Do something about that bottom tower.
Very quick.
He's slower than a Crystal Maiden with boots. Just barely.
Wait, what is her base?
Isn't it like 275 or 280?
Yeah, that's rough. Yapzor doesn't have Blink Dagger yet, but they are smoked up with him and Nisha. Nisha with
275.
The Haste Rune, and they're squeezing in Toby. Bloodright is coming in, though, but they're just going to stand in it. They don't really care, but the heal from Chen will keep Toby alive into the Rupture now. Nisha looks like he'll find the kill. Echo Slam being used, but not really to much effect. Nisha still hasted on the high ground now. He's still ruptured, and he just dies. Didn't have much of a choice there.
Really nice Hand of God.
Yes,
Secret did not account for that. They thought they had that kill on Beastmaster, and then Hand of God turns everything around. They get 2 kills, and now mid tower. Very, very nice here from Vikin.
That's exactly what they need. Oh, Courier coming in. That I think they just saw in the top lane. RMS stole the Shikuchi. Pretty good Rubik game though. You get Shikuchis all the time. You can get the zip from the Storm Spirit. Not too shabby. Zai looks to be getting chased right now. Toby, of course, not having primal roar at the moment. Nice cold snap keeping Zai in place though, and that will result in another kill. Yep. So Viking, despite being kind of down in the farm, are doing of getting some kills.
my God.
Another courier. How many couriers have died? Honestly, it's like 8, maybe 7, 8.
I don't know. It's a lot. It is definitely a lot. It's quite a big chunk of Secret's gold advantage just from killing couriers, actually. Oh my God! Don't tell me he gets another one now. No way. No. Oh my God! If he stayed one more second, he would have found that one too.
Well, he might get the other one coming from the secret shop. We'll see. I think that is that why he's standing there. I think so, actually.
This
I'm
is
watching
not
Puppey, man.
the bounty hunt anymore, Puppey. Wrong tournament. You had
Yeah,
every
he's
opportunity to do this for money, and now you're doing it for free.
Well, it's for in-game money at this point. And yeah, he's gonna get it.
Oh my God!
I'm genuinely curious how many couriers have died in this game. We didn't mention a lot of them, but I mean we heard them. It's a lot of gold for sure. Must be
Puppey's just
really annoying for Viking.
This is actually a really underrated aspect of Weaver. What is happening top lane right now? As a support, you can clear the whole wave by just Shikuchi plus the swarm. It's a level 1 swarm, but it's enough to keep the wave in place that you can kill it off and get back up. And Puppey's finding a lot of extra farm this way.
Roar in the jungle on Nisha. Into the cold snap, and it will be enough. Beautifully layered there from Viking, and another high-value target taken out. But, I mean, looking at the net worth, it just... I mean, obviously that helps, but still, like this patch, we've talked about it before, just doesn't feel like there's as big of an impact from these guilds. But might be another one, Yapzor. Whoa, did he just echo slam? Whoa, what was that?
Don't
Goodness. Oh, that's another good kill and into a tier 1 tower. This will give them some gold.
Yep.
Dire just couldn't save.
Should be around the 2K mark.
Viking are they're making some good moves right now to try to get themselves into a better position in this game. Getting these 2 towers really opens up for Beastmaster to look for kills together with Invoker. Their lineup is kind of coming together at this point. The slight concern I still have for them is item timings on Secret. Zai now has a Yule, so he has a solution to the Vessel. The Weaver Ags is actually, Puppey is progressing at an alarming rate toward this. On his Weaver, the Shaker Blink is coming up, and the Storm almost has Bloodstone. So like 3 or 4 big item timings for Secret are relatively close. I guess we shouldn't count the X on Weaver. It's pretty far, but the other items are coming up.
I mean, with 10 more courier kills, I'm pretty sure he'll have it. We'll see if
Matu
that
went
ends up
Basher,
happening.
by the way. Didn't mention that.
Yeah, I saw that. Very interesting.
So taking.
I mean, typically when I see
an early
Basher, it's
fighting
like the
approach.
3rd item most
Yeah.
of the time, or maybe 2nd in some cases. But I wouldn't consider Yasha like a full item.
Guess he wants to be able to stand and deliver when he gets ruptured. It's like a man fight item where if Bloodseeker runs at him and tries to fight, he just overpowers him. Will want Abyssal at some point. I guess this is his go-to when it doesn't go Battle Fury, right? Then Yasha Basher is not that uncommon, but this doesn't stand out to me as a Basher game outside of the Bloodseeker matchup. Like Invoker is going to kite you like crazy. Beastmaster does not want to melee you. He's just going to roar and send shit at you and then run away. And the 2 supports on Viking's side are not exactly, in reach for him most of the time. So, I don't know, how good is it as a farming item? It might be a really good farming item too. So it's 25 damage and then 25% for another 100 damage. That's not bad.
Zai is still not seen in the bot trees, along with Nisha. Not sure if they're trying to set something up or if they're actually hiding. Oh, Storm, TP out. Tornado's going to miss, and he'll be fine. A lot of time being wasted here. Maybe they should use a courier to scout so that it dies, and they can get double-digit courier kills. But yeah, Puppey's just being this annoying pest in this top lane, repeatedly getting these not only courier kills, but the pushing the lanes and whatnot. And I mean, you were saying he's not. I mean, you're saying that Ags is far away. It's actually not that far away anymore. He's already gained 1,000 gold since we mentioned it.
They saw him.
He was going for the career. Oh, he actually a very quick time lapse, but does take off the cold snap. All right. Well, looks like he is likely dead finally. Did require
this reminds
3
me
heroes
of?
though.
This reminds me of Ad Finem, maybe next time playing Bounty Hunter. Like,
Oh
just
yeah.
actually placing offensive wards around the enemy base and just running around trying to kill couriers. And when the enemy team is finally pissed off enough, they show up with 3 or 4 heroes to guarantee the kill, and then they still feel bad about themselves afterwards because they brought 3 or 4 heroes to get that kill on the support, right? It's really reminding me of that. Just that this Weaver is also killing waves, which Bounty Hunter obviously wasn't. So it's like almost an improved version in some aspects. It's like the amount of
like
space that he's
Shadow-
generating when you think about it, right?
Not enough space in this case, and because Roshan has gone to Viking.
Nicely done.
Radiant done the deed.
So
Again,
Shad,
the timing in the mid game for their lineup.
yeah, for sure. I mean, Shad is 1,000 gold ahead of
Radiant's
everybody in the
bottom
game
tower
right
ain't a
now.
Pretty sight right now.
Has the Maelstrom BKB.
Oh, is he going to rupture
Obviously,
here?
a lot of levels. There's
Oh,
the rupture. On the,
that hurts.
oh, goodness gracious, Zai. That is quite a bit of damage, my friend. And he will easily be cleaned up as a result. Puppey, is he actually... I was going to say, is he going for another courier kill? But no, it looks like it might be a Chen. He will Shikuchi away now. I'm sure they have some PTSD with these courier kills, so they're being real careful.
Vikin is actually,
Radiant's
considering the amount of wave pressure they're under, they're doing
Oh
a really
my
good job at finding
God.
moves. Oh no, not again. It's honestly just sad at this point.
He's 1,000 from Ags now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they are under a lot of wave pressure. They are finding moves. They are making kills and getting Roche. But can they press high ground is the question here. Because you're playing into Shaker plus Storm, Timber. The high ground defense from Secret is really good, and so is the wave clear. So at some point, you have to find a convincing enough fight that you can really push to end the game. Like, even if Secret lose all the tier 2 towers by now, I think it's a job well done from them. It's not... They're not in a bad enough
courier.
position.
Are you
from
serious? Another courier? No way! They plainly saw him standing there. What in God's name? All right, there's a certain point where
He's not even dying.
You gotta see it coming.
Oh my god.
I don't understand. His teammates were pinging him too, like, "Dude, you're courier, and then literally 6-7 seconds later, it dies.
Towers taking hits.
Oh. How much gold have they made off couriers this game? Ugh.
Is there actually just no way of seeing that in any way in the game, including afterwards? There isn't, right?
Not that I know of.
There's no couriers killed stats
Radiant's
anywhere
mid tower
unless you
getting
have like
banged
Lay
up.
Earth or something running.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a site you could go to after, but I'm not sure.
Shad?
Shad getting initiated on Bloodright will not really do too much, but the roar, the counter roar, I should say, on matumbaman doesn't do that much in the end. I hear a rupture. Not sure who that's actually on, but they're going to be able to clean up the Beastmaster. It's a 1-for-1 for the Earthshaker. There's 2 separate fights going on right now. Zai was the one ruptured again and will be brought down again. Unfortunate for him. Ends up being a 2-for-2 as now Puppey and Matumba look to be on the run as Shad still with that Aegis intact. Nice cold snap into the Bloodright. Looks like the ult will be popped by Troll, which will only delay the inevitable death here. And
It's fun
boom.
seeing him run after a Bloodseeker that's more than hasted. He just can't. He just kept
Can't
running
catch
kept
up.
running at him and couldn't ever catch up. Yeah. And Viking didn't
Puppey,
even
I
have to expend
believe-
Aegis there. That's nice. They have 2 more minutes on that.
Yeah. I believe Puppey is getting his Ags delivered now. This is when things get kind of dicey.
Yeah.
Right? Not even just with that combo you were talking about, just in general, fighting against a Weaver with Ags is so
Dire's
hard.
top towers. You
I think
know
this is the
drill.
best partner for it in the whole game, though. Playing it with Storm is so insane. Like you, let's see here. So, gonna get this kill. I imagine he'll time lapse, and there you go. He just gave him 1,500 mana.
Excellent.
It's basically Omega Coddle.
Towers getting beat down.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
If there were more heroes there, Nisha could have just kept going. Like, if you think about it, this mechanic with Storm is actually so busted, because the only limitation the hero has,
Getting banged up.
or the primary one later in the game, is his mana pool, where in theory, if you have infinite mana, you're invincible, right? You just keep jumping around and never be targetable and deal damage. And you can do that for like a good 5 seconds on Storm usually, or maybe a bit more if you have a really good game with a lot of farm. But then you're out of juice. Now you just do it twice. Like, what the hell?
I mean, I think the thing that's the craziest, well, I shouldn't say the craziest part, but it not only allows you to cast it on teammates, but lowers the cooldown to 16 seconds, which is, I feel like if that's something that, I don't know how much people have been abusing it lately, but when this first came out, I'm like, I don't understand why this needs both benefits. I feel like just being able to use it on a teammate is enough.
Yep, I kind of agree. I actually thinking, I think this might be the best Aghanims in the whole game on my like list right now.
How dare you? Rubik would have something to say about that, Cinderin.
Rubik would die.
Speaking of Rubik, he's dead. Primal Roar onto Puppey.
Oh, you tornado too early. I think he can maybe time-lapse.
And he will time-lapse himself, and he's fine. Well, he's out of mana, though.
He has Arcane
Ring.
Ring.
Could potentially find him.
He's fine.
There we go. Another Shikuchi.
Where's the courier? No courier.
No courier before he dies. You never know, though. He still has time.
If he gets another 25 mana here, he can lapse.
Oh, the bounty rune is so close. But meanwhile, bottom lane, a little bit of pressure being applied, but not any real damage to the tower. So let's do some itemization talks, Cinderin, updates. Nisha has the Orchid to go along with the Bloodstone right now, as they are going to find Chen, who's mega dead. Matumbaman finished his BKB, so has the Yasha Basher 10-second BKB. So the ultra fighting mode.
It's he's peaking right now. Or well, saying that might be unfair because it makes it sound like he's going to fall off, but it's his first like really big peak of the game. Until now, he's kind of been at the mercy, I want to say, almost of Invoker. Like, you can get messed up so hard by like Ice Wall, Cold Snap, there's Rubik Lift, any stolen spell that has a slower stun. Like, there's way too many problems. Now it's only Roar. He can power through Rupture with Battle Trance as long as he gets to not Battle Trance the Bloodseeker, who's the one guy he can't catch. Oh my god. They gave him mana again.
Blown up, but could be a potential kill onto Puppey. Oh, it is. So, I mean, that's a fair trade if you're Viking here.
Yeah,
You'll be
good.
very happy with that, as Nisha is forced to run away. Can you talk to me about the casual plate mail on Zai? I feel like he was going for Lotus Orb against like the Rupture and whatnot, but then changed his mind. Okay, Did he finish the Halberd?
No.
Okay, switching again.
Maybe he just wants
this. This doesn't feel like the most
Sanja's
value
though. Sanja's really good against Bloodseeker. Get the status resistance. You get the self amp from reactive armor. It's a really good item on Timbersaw in general. Sometimes you would even see Timbers by Sanjan Kaya as a potential item build-up. But I mean, it's not very common. But just the standalone item is really, really good on this hero. I like it. I don't think you needed to rush Lotus either. I actually think this build order is really good in this game.
Fair enough. Looking at Shad now on the Bloodseeker, does have a full Mjolnir to go along with the still 10-second BKB. Haven't really had a big fight in a little bit here. Of course, it is difficult to fight into Secret. That's kind of the issue. I mean, in the ideal scenario, they'll be able to find a pickoff before actually going into...
Oh, Puppey got greedy for the rain.
Yep.
It was a bait.
Pay for it. But no Roche as of yet. It
and
may
Puppey
respawn
doesn't lose his courier. He has played the courier game, and he's like, if I'm dying, my courier is getting out. Wait, which courier does he have actually? What particle is that? Unusual.
Did he change courier?
Beko.
Oh, he changed. He used to have
cool
Cardi.
glow.
He used to be the only pro with Cardi. I was always enamored. It looks like he's changed his tune.
Two of his buddies have the Cloudy Boys.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Radiant's
you
bottom
would.
tower seen better days.
It's the most. It's the most out of place in Dota. That's why I like it. Yeah, we've had this discussion actually. So Lotus Orb now
like
officially
you.
finished on Zai.
Dire's mid tower.
Thanks,
could use a little
Cinderin.
help.
You're more in place in like Valorant or Artifact. That's
How would you know? You don't have
Bro,
access to either
Radiant's
game.
Bottom tower.
I've heard.
I mean, Valorant you
From a
do have
certain
access to
podcast.
technically.
I
That's
guess.
very true.
Oh,
If
Toby?
you want to have
Good blink.
access, you have it. Now Toby blinks away. Don't think they'll find him. Another Timber Chain coming up though. All right. There's the slow. He's going to actually get rooted here from the clumsy net. There's Nisha just jumping all over the place. Will he get time lapse? Is he even close? Oh, there he goes. But he didn't really get that much mana back. So a little bit late to the party was Puppey. Not as full value as you would like if you're a Secret fan right now. But Troll Warlord completely decimated amidst the farm of Bloodseeker, just ripping through everybody. Finally, the BKB pop from Shad. That'll result in an Earthshaker kill. So
very
good
good target selection from Vikin. They negated Troll and Bloodseeker.
Flipped by Tornado, and looks like he is dead as well. Does Yule's off a little bit. Oh, the TP? Oh my god, he hits hard. Oh, he did for 1 second. Was that the wild axes being applied for that moment?
I think so.
Must have been.
Actually, wait, what's it? I don't know.
Puppey has to time-lapse himself and actually puts himself more in harm's way.
Oh, Aramis had the right idea there. He might blink catch him here.
Ooh. Can he
Fast
follow
and
him?
furious.
Stupendous.
Of course, the Shikuchi for Aramis does more damage.
My
So you can't play the trading game here. I mean, I felt like Secret just really wanted this. I mean, the Weaver Stormcon was obviously really good, but they picked it into
For the twins.
the Rubik, which
Yeah.
I don't know how much you think about that stuff. Like, it's not like it. I mean, is it game?
What
I
did
get
they
it's
pick
game
into the
changing.
Rubik? They didn't pick the Weaver into Rubik, right? It was Chen first pick, and then it was Shaker
They picked
Weaver.
this. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they didn't see Rubik, but they could have banned Rubik second phase because they ended the first phase with Beastmaster. So they had the option of banning Rubik. That is true. Which is a very common ban when you have Weaver Shaker, right? It's like two insane spell steals. Shikuchi and Fissure are like... If you did like a ranking list, they would both be like S tier, I would say. They're like super, super good. So it's fair. I think that could have been a good ban. But yeah, this team fight that now feels like an eternity ago, close to the top shrine, basically, or top outpost rather. The thing that Vikin did so well was their target selection. So they made sure to reset Beastmaster out of the fight and then re-engage with Aurora and Troll, so he never got ulti off. And they also ruptured Timbersaw very early in the fight. So they just had very good control of 2 out of 3 enemy cores. And Storm's jump, like you pointed out, just didn't really work out the way he wanted to. He didn't get full mana again.
Oh my god. He was a quarter second away from getting... Not that this outpost really matters in terms of the gold and whatnot. Shad, well, he's going to get buffed up, and Zaya's going to attempt to get out. He Lotus Orbs himself. They're trying to get Puppey taken out. He gets very low, and then finally, the extra damage from Invoker able to finish him off. And with that, I believe Secret is now on the run. Yapzor with the Shadow Amulet. Oh, the Roar expended, but they will find the kill. See if they can get more on top of this. Is matumbaman actually showing bottom, forcing a TP in the form of the Invoker. He is now working towards a Satanic. Yeah, and that leaves Roche open.
Starting to look real good for Vikin now.
It feels like these fights, Puppey is just not in the position. I'm not going to criticize Puppey, but just felt like the time-lapse has had zero impact because he's had to use it on himself several times.
Oh, big ball bottom.
Lane, they're going to jump in onto Invoker. See if they can get this kill before the Roshan is taken out, but the TP from Aramis is going to force Nisha away. Looks like he's going to just zip TP. Should be good to go.
Get a base
Aegis
tower,
was taken.
I think that's still a great trade for Vikin overall. Getting this Aegis is worth more than bottom tier 3 in this game. And yeah, I'm still going to come back to what I talked about before the game even began. Like, I need to see Vikin winning the game. Like, how are they going to end, you know? I'm very impressed with how they've played the last 10 to 15 minutes with how much pressure they've been under with wave clear and everything. And they are starting to mount a bit of a gold advantage. But they haven't hit a tier 3 tower, or barely, in mid. They've done a little bit of a scratch. Like, what is it going to take before they can really find a game-winning opening? If they can find a fight like the one they did at the enemy outpost top, if they can find that in the bottom half of the map while they have a wave just now, that would be great.
I mean, that's a big if considering the fact that Puppey is just continually doing this. Man, it's been very annoying all game. And there's the zip stolen from Aramis trying to chase Nisha, but will instead be going for the Weaver. Puppey, full snap again, and down he goes. He is working towards an Aeon disc, so that will help in these scenarios. What would you rather
really
go?
It's really. I'm just thinking
Like a
the
Lincoln's or
alternatives would be
something?
like BKB or Lotus, but I do actually think Aeon Disc might be the best as well.
Well, now that he's dead, that means they can push bottom pretty much without any contest here. Zaya's going to be pulling the puppey route here and pushing top instead.
Yep.
But you're right. Like, if they can find a fight and win that fight somewhat near the enemy base, at least on this side of the map with a wave, then
Big item.
that would benefit them greatly. But the split pushing continues from Secret. Zai, it might cost him his life. Does have the halberd now, but yeah, that was a very ambitious TP as the Cold Snap again. Cold Snap has been kind of the MVP, it feels like, for Viking. It has been mega value.
6 in a row.
And down Zai goes again.
The Diet best do something about that bottom tower.
Storm Spirit is such a hero sometimes.
He is a hero.
Got the bounty rune. But yeah, another good kill for Vikin. In terms of the big picture, it doesn't really change very much. He's out for 50, but I don't think they can reach, or they can technically reach high ground, but they still need to push through Storm's jumps. Oh, puppey, very close. If he gets lifted there, that gets nasty quickly.
Yeah, the reason Puppey is now struggling a bit to have more of an impact than pushing waves because he hasn't found a courier kill. That gives him all the confidence he needs. It's been an eternity since these courier kills. He's going to be found with the tornado, but with Shikuchi away to safety. And at least Boom in a very awkward position, and they're just going to blow him up.
Wow, that
And
was
the
such
late
an
hand of
overextension.
And this is what you were talking about. I mean, the experience from Secret showing in spades in this play at the very least. They find two,
A feast for my
and Vikings actually pretty lucky that it's not more than that.
Yeah, Boom had another major overextension last game on the Queen of Pain, which kind of ended the game.
Yeah.
Just need to tame the beast a little bit more.
The Dire might want to.
And I was going to say, Matumba gets a really big item in the Satanic. I wonder if he's going to finish S and Y just to rack up that status resistance, or if he has a plan of doing Abyssal first to play it more aggressively. I think S and Y is probably the best. It's insanely good right now. He's against so many things. Even outside of BKB, it makes him able to play way more, to have the extra status resistance.
I mean, he's been
BKB
sitting on this 10-second BKB for
Top
a
lane,
long
big zip.
time. His top lane, yeah. We have the Orchid applied to Rubik. That's going to be an easy-peasy kill. And now the Roar onto the Weaver again into the Silence from the Blood Ride. Do they have enough to actually take him out? Looks like he will also expend the Rupture for that. So, indeed. Now, Shad, with the Mjolnir applied, getting a nice Blood Ride onto two, but it's already going to be the death of the Beastmaster. And there's the bash onto trying to right-click away. But matumbaman, I think he will win this battle every single time. But there, your vessel applied.
He didn't BKB, he got
Gonna reduce
disarmed.
yeah, he still has the BKB. 10 seconds.
Oh, this is
has
not
Satanic as well,
That is...
but will not expend any of it.
Dude, it's so sad to watch Troll ulting when he's disarmed. It's like you feel like the most useless 20,000 net worth on the whole map. Like, it's just nothing. Absolutely has to BKB there before Battle Trance. Just Deafening Blast ruined that fight completely for him. Don't really know if it would have ended well anyway. Bloodseeker still had a bit of time left on the Aegis, and they were very well positioned to assist there. So
The creeps, Cinder, and the creeps and bottom.
Radiant's
Quickly.
bottom axe is getting hammered.
They're killing your buildings. Please.
oh, this is going to take a while. Oh, there's
Boom.
Invoker cleaning it up.
Yeah, the alacrity definitely helps a lot.
So Chen...
Illusionist Cape.
Who got that?
Shad got it.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like this is a Radiance build or anything like that. And they did nerf this a while back, right? So you can't pocket it anymore.
Yep.
It'll kill the illusion.
Still nice stats, at least 14 Agi and Strength on Bloodseeker is good, and then, yeah, the Illusion plays, you can make a bait against, especially against the Storm Spirit strategy. If you bait the first mana bar, that's crazy good, right? Haven't really been talking too much about the Radiant item progression either, so Chen is working on a pipe after having both Vlads and Mech. Beastmaster, I believe his most recent item was the Lotus Orb, or was it the Force Staff?
Good
There's a
question.
10-second BKB
He
and
has both
Invoker.
now.
10-second BKB Invoker, and Bloodseeker is starting to really ramp up. Gonna finish an Abyssal Blade in a moment with some really core Bloodseeker items here, right? He has the Mjolnir plus Satanic and BKB, very standard Bloodseeker build. Cheese in the 6th slot as well. He's very powerful in this upcoming fight when he gets Abyssal. It's no joke. And level 25 coming in too.
Some more items being picked up by Secret in the jungle.
Radiant's top tower.
I'm not sure who actually will take these, though. So we have Minotaur Horn.
Radiant's top
And it looks like Spell Prism is finally picked up now for Secret. So is Minotaur Horn a Timber Saw item in place of this Craggy Coat?
I think it would be really good on the Weaver, right? It feels like.
Well, that's true. Yeah, he does have ninja gear, but
It guarantees
overkill.
that he can get off a
Golden thread.
that he can get off a time lapse on a teammate, basically every single time, unless he's roared, right?
yeah.
So I do think that would be really good.
We're gonna have to zip in onto the Bloodseeker at half HP, pops the BKB, and with that, Seeker's gonna be very happy with that exchange if they don't lose anybody. But yapzor, time lapse into the roar now, but it's a double roar thanks to the Lotus Orb. Into the Sunstrike on top of it. yapzor still has Echo Slam, taking extra damage now as Toby's gonna apply some more. Looks like he'll find his death. It's a 2-for-1 as mostly supports have gone to the grave. Echo Slam used. yapzor is still alive somehow. Now Nisha's going to turn the tables onto Toby himself, who's going to get Lotus on top of Matumba's right clicks. Looks like they will find that one in turn. So it's a 3-for-1 somehow. Amazing turnaround from Secret. As now they're chasing Boom, but don't have vision. The dust still on cooldown. And that'll break things up here.
Yeah, pulling it back a bit. Really important for Matumba to finally get to play a fight, right? Like, it's got to feel good to get to play your hero a little bit. You know, if nothing else, then for the morale. I feel like he's been so quiet this game because of the amazing job Vikin have done disarming and roaring him every fight.
And his status
I
resistance
think
is crazy now with that SNY.
one of the-
Satanic.
Yeah, first of all, he has that, but another key difference is the location of the fight, right? Compared to a lot of the other fights, Secret are the ones with a really good positional advantage on that side of the map. They had a great ward too. And now they're going to start shoving into tier 2. I don't think they're going to take any more than this. They're probably going to respect Vikin's potential and start resetting and preparing for Roche.
Yeah, the next Roche is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to drop either the Ags or Refresher Shard. Which, if it is an Ags, trying to see who would benefit the most from that. Looking at Vikings team, I wouldn't say they have great Ags potential, but Secret definitely does. I mean, you have Black Hole, essentially, with Storm Spirit. You have the Enchant jumping around, shenanigans from Earthshaker, the double Chakram from Timbersaw.
Invisibility.
They have really good Ags if that ends up dropping from Roche.
Yep.
Which it will.
It will, yeah.
He is up now. I mean, I talk about how Rubik has the best Ags in the game, Sinner, but that's in theory, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's good here, for sure.
This
He
is
does have Blink Yules, so he does have some items.
This is such an important moment. If they... Oh, I don't think Matu's the guy they want to find. I think Puppey can connect in time.
Yeah, they're going to telekinese. He's going to pop his BKB immediately. He still has his ult available. Chad, looks like he might be on the run. Still has his BKB. They're going to blow up Rubik. And this looks to be a dead Beastmaster, which means Viking need to GTFO immediately. Chad gets off his Rupture as the double kill for Nisha comes in. So that's 3-for-0. This is a complete stomp of a fight, which will lead to Roche, and no doubt. And Voker looks to be the 4th. That's a triple kill for Nisha. Bloodseeker, the only survivor. Just a really bad start to that fight and just snowballed.
Yeah, they open on the... Troll was the guy that they found, and he has way too much status resistance, and they can immediately just turn it around. He gets Lotused. He starts fighting. They know they can't commit on him, because if they try too hard, they're just going to get a time-lapse off on the Troll, and they've spent all their resources. And on top of that, that was Matsu's level 25 fight, so he could Battle Trance Dispel Roar with the Strong Dispel. So even that didn't work. And it's starting to... It kind of felt like this was... I think you give it to Nisha, probably.
Okay, Black Hole.
It feels like the game... Like, it wasn't inevitable. Like, Vikin did some really, really good moves, but they were under so much pressure to keep playing in a stellar way. And once again, I think they've played a really good game of Dota, just like in game 1, but... The clock just feels like it's ticking, right? They're working against it all the time. And now that Secret has finally reached their peak, I just don't know if they have the damage anymore. There's too much sustain. Troll is mega farmed, Storm is mega farmed, Timber is, and then they have the
Weaver save plus a Shaker protection.
Radiant's
Like
top
it's
tower's in
just
bad
too many
shape.
problems for their draft to really handle anymore.
Yeah, they're just going to clean out the last of the outer towers, and will
Radiant
likely
got one
just
less top tower.
continue on. Matumbaman actually pocketed the Paladin Sword and will be using Minotaur Horn instead. Storm just placing his remnants everywhere, gets time-lapse back into the mid.
Radiant's gone and fortified.
Ah, this hero. This combo. They might be waiting for this Abyssal Blade on Matumba.
Here now.
He is, I believe, either a recipe... Oh, he actually did finish it, so... Now he is
Radiant's
very
mid
strong
tower's
on top of the
coming apart.
Aegis. Oh, look at this. Nisha time-lapse back to the mid lane. That was a literal global time-lapse in terms of positioning.
Whoa, what I missed.
So
OS
he's able to...
Thrall.
Oh, let
Yeah.
the fun begin.
I mean, would you be happy if it was just a lowered... Like the cooldown just didn't change when you pick up Ags? Do you think
I think it would still be super good.
I mean, you want it to be super good because it's fun to watch, right?
Yeah. Oh, Timber. They found Zai. His
Yeah,
halberd
he's
here.
gonna Yule's up. Here comes the Storm. Looking for the Invoker. Gets the Lotus Orb up. Double BKB. There's now Boom on the run, but Matumbaman jumps in onto the Chen. Gets off his ult, though, so the extra healing is there. Matumbaman just going to clean him up very shortly thereafter. Sheep onto Bloodseeker. Pops the BKB now. They're going to turn the tables onto Nisha, but there's the time-lapse again. Getting telekinesis into the Sunstrike, so they do find the Storm. A huge kill for Viking as the buyback from Chen is here as well. Matumbaman gets Lotus Orb up, and he has no mana. My goodness, that thing is ridiculous. The EMP shreds him. That is the Aegis. For Storm, with no buyback, I feel like maybe if you had buyback, he would probably... maybe
Yeah,
he
he'll
would,
probably
I'm
use
not
it.
sure. Matumbaman pops the BKB, and this looks like a losing fight, but the Echo Slam comes in! Chen, that is a dieback. Huge ultimate from yapzor. See if this ends up turning the fight or not. Toby using the Havoc Hammer to full effect to get everybody inside of that Blood Right. Excellent usage. And that's going to help win this fight in spades for Viking. Despite losing the diebacking Chen, they cleaned up Secret real good.
That was a very nicely executed fight. Like, it was funny to see. I'm like, okay, it's just a matter of time before Puppey time-lapses the Storm, but it was so late that he time-lapsed him back to 0 mana. He actually couldn't even jump out after he got saved. And with the Storm out of the picture in this fight, and the Troll ulti used early to kill the Chen, they start kiting, right? It's just what their lineup's super good at. They keep kiting. The Troll, he never really gets on top of people. Zai, again, is very well controlled. And really the key there is that they get the Storm kill when they do. So awesome stuff from Viking. They're still not out of it yet. It's still a big mountain to climb, but
I mean, they have
3
no
cores without
buybacks.
buyback.
Yeah,
This is
other than Earthshaker.
Let's see how much they
could be
can
a
get
wrap.
here. Can they end? Wait, they can.
Can't do nothing.
Can they actually end?
Fortification. So Storm is back in
Storm's
5, and
alive with
actually
buyback.
Storm does
Okay.
have buyback now, so
Okay,
it
fair
ticked in his favor.
It's gonna kill the wave. Yoink.
And here he goes. And yeah, perfect timing to get 2 waves, in fact. They will be able to get the range, maybe even the melee, and there is, again, the Ags coming into play for Nisha. But they will lose mid-racks. But that is, I mean, they still have
Still
a major
great.
lead in that. Wait, okay, backdoor protection is there now. And yeah, they have to back. So the defense is here, and again, the Electric Vortex. Nisha just being extremely annoying. I mean, that high ground defense is so hard to play against.
Yep.
So Secret really just have to work these buybacks, essentially, and they can methodically, most likely, end the game, unless there's some disastrous fight, similar to what they just had.
Viking still, like we just saw in that fight, they know what they need to do. And the next time, they're not fighting into Aegis plus Cheese. Both were expended by Secret in the initial fight, so definitely a possibility here for Viking still to grab it. It's actually the graph is the win probability graph here. I don't know if I agree with that it's only a 2-to-1 favor for Secret here. I think they're a bit further ahead personally, but it's within reach. Any good fight, and you could force some key buybacks, maybe get a Roche. Suddenly you're there.
No, I think it's the buyback game is going to be very, very important right now. Storm, Earthshaker, they do have it. Weaver as well. So it's really just the Zion, Matumba without buybacks at the moment. But they're not that far away. It's only 300 and 500 gold respectively. So I would expect Secret to just slow this down a bit, get those buybacks, and then continue doing what they're doing. Or trying to, at least. I mean, we haven't really seen Nisha's Ags come into play. Honestly, I don't think he's had a multi-electric vortex yet in that fight, at least.
No, it hasn't really. Again, credit to Vikin, right, for positioning the heroes well. It also felt like the first good echo of the game, right? It's like 45 minutes in, we finally get a big slam. So
it was
credit where
really
it's
late
due.
in the fight, too.
Yeah, they've done a very good
Almost
job
turned
at
it.
playing around this.
All right, and I do believe... Nope, Timbersaw still has no buyback. 300 gold. Zai, get to work, bro. Time. He is mega farmed. Has that sheep stick. Here's the jump in. It's going to be on Toby. Very low already, and there's the Chen heal, but it's not going to be enough. He's timber chained to death. 90 seconds, no buyback for him.
That is big. They don't know this, though. He has the cooldown ready, so for all they know, Toby could have buyback here. If Secret were presented this information, I think they would actually push bottom barracks right now.
Yeah,
but have to respect the possibility of the buyback. And maybe just keep maintaining map control. They know that the Roche can spawn relatively soon. Just keep shoving out waves. Oh, puppy bottom. Nope, didn't get tornado clipped. He's so fast, and he has dagger too. Oh, the gem?
They have the gem on Nisha.
Nisha didn't have enough
time
mana.
lapse back.
Well,
Now he
here
does.
you go. There's 2,000 mana.
Easy.
Sir?
Easy game. Man, I can't even imagine playing against this. This is ridiculous.
I think most people watching this have had at least one game against a base defending Storm Spirit, and they know they're like mega far ahead, and they just can't break the base because Storm keeps jumping the waves. Now you imagine that frustration, but it's out on the map.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
That's... It is
all the
challenging.
credit to Viking, because they are definitely putting up a good fight here.
Radiant's mid tower's coming up.
Bloodright takes out most of the wave. One creep remains. Zai is... oh, that's not their creep. Never mind. Either way, a lot of damage being applied to this tier 3. We're going to jump in onto Bloodseeker, trying to force this BKB. He's not going to use it yet. Gets sheeped. Looks like he'll hold on to it, and for good reason. And if they... Even at this stage of the game, if you get one BKB misuse... Secret will just back up, re-aggress after it's off cooldown or on cooldown, and likely take the fight with much more ease than before. Nisha working towards a Shiva's. See how much gold he has for buyback. He has 2,000 surplus, so he's getting pretty close to finishing the Shiva's.
Here I am.
Smoke. Oh, this is a really, really big moment for Viking. They feel like we can't stay cornered in our base. We know Roche is a real threat. It could even be up right now. We're going to do the long smoke around to try to get a backstab on Secret that we're expecting, rightfully so, to sit on this high ground. This is very, once again, pretty textbook stuff from Viking, but piercing in here is so difficult if they don't find Weaver. And even if they do, he has the Aeon Disc. So
Aeon Disc will definitely help.
Puppy has 900 move speed. Okay.
They do have double
oh, it wasn't
damage.
a courier that time. It was a hawk.
So Matumba with double damage. So this is a Divine Rapier, by the way. Don't know if we mentioned that. They will be going for Roche, and this will be very, very fast. I want to see Troll Ags. Please, God, let me see Troll Ags. Sounds so bad.
Give it to Shaker.
Or Shaker for sure. Or Zai. Yep, Zai will at least hold on to it for now, and he will take it. So it's going to be double Chakram.
Yep, also great. Oh, they found...
boy, they're going to find Chen. And that's no buyback. And now you're working against an Aegis, Cheese, Ags, and Refresher Shard, I believe, right? Is that taken?
Yep. The Refresher is sitting on Shaker.
Yes, indeed.
Bit short on mana.
I'm a little
on
bit
Yapzor,
surprised
but
that he didn't take the Ags, honestly.
the Timber one is really good
Timbersaw
as well.
is
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both great.
Just knowing Yapzor, you know, it's like I can see him saying he wants it, but Puppey denied him. It's a sad story. We'll see if he gets his revenge by winning the game with an Echo Slam. This would have been easier with an Ags, Puppey. They are sitting on a 33k net worth lead, though, so they can certainly stand and make some mistakes. But with, as always with a Divine Rapier, even with the Aegis, there is potential for throws. And it looks like Shad is actually working towards a Divine himself. I suppose you just get rid of your phase boots at that point.
Regeneration.
Probably.
Or you can wait till 60 minutes and take one of those boots that drop for neutral Synderen. Very good. Force boots, for example.
Yeah, great.
Hey, we might see a
Just do
60-minute
that.
game.
It's very possible. Secret this is some of the most tested I've seen them in a while, right? I mean, we've seen them lose games, but in games that it looks like they're gonna win, this is one of the hardest victories I've seen them have in a month. Like they really have to work for it. Usually when Secret has this kind of a gold lead, the game kind of just ends. But again, credit to Vikin for really challenging them here. Unfortunately, they kind of don't have any map control now, and this is where it starts getting really, really grim. You can't really get the waves out. You know you're playing into Aegis Cheese and 2 free Aghanim Scepters and a Refresher. Secret will have buybacks. They have both outposts so they can connect with their buybacks.
Do you know if the Aghanim Scepter buffs now count towards net worth, or did that not get changed?
They do.
They originally put that in. They do add it?
Yeah. I think so, right? Don't they just add 6k still? I want to say.
Or was it I can't remember.
I mean, if you look at
I think
if you look at the
was-
net worth advantage, they absolutely do count. But I think it's flat 6k.
Okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
So that's 12k right there then. BKB popped by Matumbo. Actually, that was his Minotaur horn. He's going to take the range. Rax, no problem. The jump in again from Nisha.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Trying to create as much space as possible. As matumbaman will now go to work again with that Divine Rapier and the melee Rax now. Won't be able to lifesteal a whole lot thanks to that Spirit Vessel, which has
lapsed
3
in there.
charges remaining. Oh, they're going to jump in. This might be the fight now. Aegis will be consumed immediately. There's the Echo Slam onto 2 with the double
Instant
chakram as
Yule.
well, but it's not enough. The BKBs pop galore. They will get the melee Rax, and matumbaman might be on the run now. He has to be careful. He doesn't have the Divine Rapier, remember. Again, the jump in Nisha with the double stun here from the Electric Vortex Shad. Absolutely no problem. I think Secret are trying to run away, trying to save this Divine Rapier, and it looks like they will be successful at that at least. But the Earthshaker's dead. They did trade a full Rax for it.
That was such a fast reaction from the Rubik. He immediately lifted Yapzor after the Echo Slam. He didn't get time to Fissure or Enchant Totem. If he gets one more stun off, regardless of which one it is, I think they get 2 kills. Both Invoker and Bloodseeker were able to get BKBs off because of that quick lift from Aramis. So very nice. Still, it's only a minor
Almost.
victory. Like, you get rid of the Aegis for Elena Barracks. But honestly, anything short of Mega Creation now doesn't even feel like it matters that much anymore. When you're this late in the game, aside of Rexus, whatever. At least against this type of lineup, you'll be okay. It's mainly if you're playing as like Nature's Prophet that it can get really nasty.
Oh, wow.
with the
I didn't
backdoor.
even realize. This is an amazing item for Rubik, by the way. The Timeless Relic. He picked up his Ags now, by the way, the old-fashioned way. But
Yeah.
Timeless Relic is very good on this hero. Spell damage and debuff duration. On top of the cooldown reduction that he got from his 25 talent telekinesis, that is super good.
What
It
is
counteracts.
Puppey doing here? Holy shit.
Well, he's pushing.
Yeah.
They actually dusted, but not able to find them.
Close call.
I mean, we are about to hit 60 minutes here. He's going for another courier kill. These are more high value now at this stage of the game, if you can find it. Puppey. He has
Yeah,
a blink
that
dagger
didn't
now.
seem very feasible.
They care now more about that. Oh, actually, Shad has switched it up. Not going for Divine. We'll be going Scotty, it looks like. Very interesting. Oh, wait, he switched it up and is now going... Wait, what? He's going Refresher. Huh.
Also good.
Okay. Double BKB, double Abyssal,
Yep.
double Satanic if you really need.
Double no? Yeah.
Mjolnir.
Double
Lightning.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Wait, how much mana does he have though? Like what? Can he even use everything twice? He can use his
How much is
inventory
Refresher
twice.
these days? Yeah, maybe it's not for the skills.
It's
really.
375 mana. It's a lot of mana. It's about half.
I mean,
his
if you want a
body.
double Rupture, you get Ags, right? I think it's definitely the item.
Yeah, absolutely. So that part of it will not really be useful. We shouldn't consider the double rupture a play even, I think. It's going to need to reserve it for items primarily. If the fight is long enough, he obviously regens mana quickly with it, so then he can get a second one off. But for the most part, double items.
All right, we are at the 59-minute mark. Yapzor getting ready for a potentially big Echo Slam. The jump in with the Shivas activated. Again, Toby is the choice. He pops the BKB, and Secret might fall back as a result of this. We'll see. Cold Snap into the telekinesis. Lotus Orb applied down to Puppey. He's going to Yules. Here comes the extra damage. Electric Vortex onto multiple heroes again. Toby finally goes down, but does have buyback. That is a big one. He's going to use it. matumbaman and company. Looks like they're going to attempt to take out these creeps. Yeah, this has turned into a real game of Dota. I'll tell you what, Shad. They're trying to bait this B. Oh wait, he already used the BKB. He's down to 5 seconds now.
They pinged him. They saw him. He cut
He
one
has
tree too many.
8,000 gold. It feels like you need to spend something at this stage. I mean, matumbaman has 7k. I don't even know what he gets at this point.
Moonshorn, probably.
I mean, with all this map control, Cinderin, Secret can extend their lead even more by assuring that Viking are not able to get these tier 5 items as well. Yep. They have a lot of vision right now, but they do have to be careful. They definitely can die in these engagements. So 60 minutes is upon us. What neutral items shall we get, ladies? A ballista! Is that good on anybody? It's Troll? Troll? Nah, he doesn't want to be ranged. I guess.
Give it to Weaver so he
Weaver?
can reach the couriers. Oh,
Weaver
this would be a big kill.
Yep, he died. It could be a
This one's
dieback.
bad.
Beastmaster gets abyssal now. Gets Force Staff to relative safety. Does have his roar available. Will have to expend it onto matumbaman. But Rubik actually dies on the sideline, and he does not have buyback. Shad is forced to use his BKB. They have nothing to pierce it, so he will get back safely. Now the jump in again onto Chen. Did not mean to rhyme that, but he's dead. Does have buyback, of course. So it's going to be a 4v5 no matter how you look at this. Oh boy, Zai gets Woodland Striders. The regen on these are ridiculous.
Oh, perfect for Timber.
60.
He can make his own trees to cut all the time.
That's true. That's extra pure damage from the Whirling Death, my friend. Looks like this Rax is going to be the main focus for now. There's the jump in from the Troll Warlord. It's a 45 Echo Slam onto a couple of heroes, and Invoker's going to die, but buyback into the game immediately. And this is going to be the mid Rax now. Nisha playing this. I mean, Secret are playing this a little bit safe, mainly because matumbaman is kind of naked with this Divine Rapier. But they find the opening onto Bloodseeker. He pops the Satanic, but they disarm him. And there's another Echo Slam from yapzor, finally using that Refresher Shard. The buyback onto the Bloodseeker now. Secret. They're kind of blocked off by the yapzor fissure. At least they were for a moment.
He's making trees.
The trees are being made. Pure damage from Whirling Death is out of control. matumbaman pops the BKB. There's a jump in again from Nisha. There's a double Electric Vortex. Will this be enough? It will. That's 3 dead. And this is likely the end for Viking GG in this series, as Toby will die back and Bloodseeker looks to be next. What a game of dotes.
Awesome. That was a
Only
really
2
great
neutral
game.
5s, though, Cinderin, so that's okay. Well done, everyone. We did it.
What a great series.
68,000 net worth.
Yeah. I don't know
feel
if
like it.
I don't know if people expected, or rather, I don't know how many people expected this series to be this interesting. I think in a lot of people's minds, you know, Secret are kings. They're going to clean this out easily, but they had to play about 100 minutes to get this win home, which is sometimes what like 4 games would take for them. So definitely playing overtime today. And yeah, Viking, there's a reason they're second in the groups. They're playing really good Dota, but the Kings are still the Kings. Still, if they can keep playing like this on Viking, I see them getting really far in this tournament. Honestly, like this was high quality.
I mean, people will look at the box score and say, "Oh, they lost 2-0." This was a really close series. Very well played. I mean, up to the 45, and then Viking kind of fed a little bit, a couple bad fights, and that ended up allowing Secret to get complete map control. And even though they themselves made some mistakes in there, and that combo, the Storm Weaver combo is completely filthy. So
I don't even think this game truly highlighted how powerful it is because Viking played as well as they did. They actually did a very good job at not getting abused by this Stormweaver combo very much. The last time I saw Secret do this, it looked so much nastier than it did in this game. So, but yeah, awesome game, awesome strategy. You love to see this kind of cool strategy. It's not the first time Secret run it, like we said, but it's a treat when you get there. It's kind of broken, but you know. If you can pull off a 5 Weaver, kill 10 couriers, and get an Ags, you know, you probably deserve to win the game.
Oh, we need that stat. We'll find out at some point, I'm sure, and then we'll let you guys know for sure. Anyway, Sunsfan and Cinder calling a night for night. There's more series to come, I do believe, so stay tuned. There shall be Dota soon-ish.
Yes.